Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Call of the Wild Season 1 League Tournament. I am Krillin, and I'm going to be joined here by Armath. And today we have a tournament for you guys from the Wild Hearthstone League. All of our participants today have actually participated in a league throughout the entire month, and today is going to be your top 8 players for the month, and they're going to be doing a strike format tournament. We're going to be beginning that here shortly, and actually the first matchup that we have for you today is going to be between SJH, or also known as Sam, and X Crouton. So, a little bit about strike format. It's a little bit different than the Conquest. You don't actually ban decks, you ban matchups. Each player is going to be bringing 3 decks, and what they will do is they will ban particular matchups between the decks, so that, say, you run Druid, you can ban it as Shaman, you can ban your Druid against a Hunter, you can ban your Druid against a Mage. So, it's your choice. If you know that it's going to be a bad matchup, you can ban that matchup so that you never have to face that, which is a really interesting format. And personally, I've never seen it done before, so I would love to see what happens. So a little bit about the decks while we wait for our participants to begin their match here. It looks like, just 1 second here while I pull these up. It looks like SJH is bringing a Paladin, he's bringing a Priest, and last but not least, he is bringing a Mage deck. And it looks like the Paladin deck is going to be your mid-range Paladin that you see on ladder. It's going for a little bit more of a late game. I saw that on ladder that they were going for an earlier kind of build, but this one is running Ragnaros Lightlord and Tyrion and Lay on Hands for more of a late game approach. The Priest deck is going to be your Miracle Priest, and it's running Lyra Sunshard, and it has a bunch of low-cost spells in order to combo with Lyra. The Mage deck is it looks like a tempo mage with Ragnaros and Dr. Boom for the late game. And X Crouton is bringing a Warlock. He is also bringing a Mage. And last but not least, he is bringing, of course it doesn't load up for me, he's bringing a Paladin deck. Also mid-range Paladin with a few different changes along with it. He's running more of a Murloc build for his Paladin deck. It's going to be something that you find a lot on the standard ladder, but it has Quartermaster and Justicar Trueheart built into it.
I'm about to make an explosive reference here. Hey everyone, I'm Armath. I just had you all guys listening to Krillin here explaining the format after this really explosive and awkward entrance. And I'd like to welcome everyone here. I'm his co-host, co-caster, or whatever you wanna call it. And
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And I think we're ready to get right into our first matchup if Krillin is up for it.
Oh yeah, we are ready to go.
All right. So the bans so far, just so you guys know, the ban matchups are the Crouton banned Maids versus Priest. So that's a really good one because the Maids of Crouton is actually a secret mage, so there wouldn't be any late game for him. We have the next one is Warlock versus Maids. Some actually banned it. So the bans go like the first player bans, then the second one, and so on and so forth until all 4 bans are made. Also, Crouton banned Mage versus Paladin, so he's really terrified about those really aggressive or really late game decks. And as for the last one, I'm still not certain, but give me a second, I'll find out.
Yes, so as you was talking about, the mage deck is going to be a secret mage, but since it is wild, he can run a few of the other cards like Lotheb, and Dr. Boom is going to be something he has for the later game. And the it looks like a Reno. Is that a Reno Warlock? And I don't think we have the entire list here. It looks like it was cut off at Antique Healbot. So
Yes, it's a Reno Warlock. It's a Reno Warlock. Crouton brought a Reno Warlock, and he actually banned the what's it with the Warlock versus Maid. So Sam is actually running a Tempo Maids, and that's understandable coming from Crouton. The matchup would not be very favorable, so he decided to just keep that and roll his dice on a different matchup where he can actually have a chance to actually win.
it looks like we aren't actually able to spectate X Crouton's hand, which is totally fine. We know his deck, and we will be able to figure out what his next play is going to be. So it looks like it's going to be a mage mirror match in the first match here. We have, of course, the secret mage from.
Okay, we can spectate him now.
Okay.
Okay, he had it was something on his end, so yep, go ahead.
All right. And there it is. We are able to view his hand.
Technology at its finest.
Yes. Lovely. But it looks like we have the tempo mage versus the secret mage here, which I believe in this particular matchup.
I mean, the Flame Waker is a really strong card. I mean, it has always been a staple of the Wild Maids. So if he manages to get a board with the Flame Waker, that means Crouton will have to spend resources actually removing the Flame Waker, and he still has one more. So Sam's plan here is to get really cheap spells with Primordial Glyphs and just have a really big combo with Flame Waker and remove any threats that Crouton can assemble on his board. So now he's going to play the coin and going out the Drake. That's an okay tempo for now because there is no board to contest this their Drake so far. And Sam's Valet is actually kind of dead right now. I mean, he can of course play the counterspell and Valet, but that's not winning him anything. Because I'm fairly certain Crouton is not going to trade the Drake into his Valet.
Ooh, that's actually a decent
That's actually
pickup.
pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it's not on curve, but hey, I will take a 2-mana Sludge any day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's definitely going to stop anything that the X Crouton's mage is going to bring in.
So right now, he's thinking, do I want to actually spam that Frostbolt. I think it's okay, and he plays on curve. So right now he has the board, and Sam needs to answer that. I mean, he has a Flame Strike with 5 mana cost. I think he's going to keep it for to get a bit more value out of it. So
Yes.
Flamewaker can easily play with again missiles, Primordial
Ooh,
Glyph.
let's see an infinite glyph. No, he doesn't get it.
I mean,
Here we go.
has he tried for counterspell first? Because I thought this was kind of tricky.
Ooh, that actually did a very good job of clearing the board. And it didn't. No, I don't think he was trying for counterspell first. I would have argued that you could have played the arcane missiles first.
Yeah,
In order
exactly.
to throw it away.
Because Primordial Glyph can actually net you something of far more importance than just an arcane missiles.
Yes, and I am not entirely aware if the public knows about the particular decks that were brought today. So it may be something that he has to attempt.
Interesting.
Fair enough.
Maybe. It looks like there is a lot of people viewing the decks currently, more so than just our casters and myself. So it may be actually public knowledge. So he may know that there was no counterspell played.
I mean, considering the secret Maids, I highly doubt that someone is not running any
Oh yeah,
counterspells at all.
yeah. I just looked. He does run counterspell, so it would have been something that he needed to check for first. Okay, so that was actually my mistake. The secret.
No, that's
mage.
fine. That's fine.
Yes,
I mean,
the secret.
we are only
mage.
human. We make mistakes.
Yes.
Except you, Krillin.
Oh. No, I am not above that. I will tell you.
That's
I'll
fine.
be the first to tell you.
So, 0 mana flame cannon. Yes, I'd like that on standard as well, please.
Yes.
We have many secrets.
Okay, a Kirin Mage without any secrets to play feels kind of bad, man,
Yes.
but not
It's-
that bad.
We have many secrets, except right now. Ooh, Barnes.
Oh my!
Wow. Okay, what can he get from this that will be extreme? Ragnaros, Piloted Shredder. There's actually quite a few cards that he can get off of this in order to actually deal a decent amount of damage. Barnes was great off of that.
I wonder.
I mean, even if he doesn't manage to pick up anything, it's still a 1 mana 3/4 minion, so it's fairly decent.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He could even find a 1 mana Flame Boy here. He still has one more in his deck.
Let's see what we get off of this. Piloted Shredder. Calling it. Ooh.
Yep, called it. Never like you though.
Close enough. I do like
Yep.
trying to predict as much as I can, but it's always Hearthstone. RNG is RNG. Ooh, counterspelled the counterspell.
Who's countering who now?
Exactly. And countering that counterspell doesn't. It means that the secret didn't actually play, so the Cabal Crystal Runner is not discounted from that secret.
So he has to go for the Ethereal Arcanist here, so he can contest the board.
Exactly.
But I think he's gonna play. I think right now playing one Flame Strike to get the board should be decent, but he's not certain what kind of secret he just brought in, because he's a secret mage, and even though he just countered one of his counter spells, I think there's still one more. He hasn't played his second counter spell yet.
Yes, only one counterspell was actually played thus far.
So is he willing to risk a 5 mana Flame Strike?
I'm
That's
not
the
sure.
that's the question.
Yeah, I would not play the ice block. I would almost. You are playing a secret mage, so mad scientist being mirror entity could also be pretty bad. This is a tough play for SJH.
out on me.
He does pick the Flame Strike, so he knows it's not counterspell anymore.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, he took the risk, and I think I have to apologize because checking the deck list again, it seems he's only running one counterspell. So I guess he knew that there's only one counterspell, so he went ahead and called it.
For X Crouton?
Yes, Executor runs only one counterspell in his deck list. So
I am getting the decks backwards. Is it?
oh yeah, I get yeah.
SJH is running one.
Right,
X
too
Crouton
many
is running two.
maids.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly, you're correct. So I take my apology back.
Yes.
Okay, so Lothab hits the board. Now Sam feels a little sad because he can either play a 10 mana Flame Strike, and that's not really mana worthy. Alternatively, he can play just an Arcane Intellect and try to do a trade or something, which I think it's also not very efficient because he has to trade both his minions into one of his opponent's either Crystal Runner and Lotheb. But here's the kicker: whatever Crouton gets out of this duplicate, it's going to win him the game because he either gets two Lothebs, so Sam will be locked in for two rounds, or he gets two Cabal Crystal Runners, which will basically cost almost nothing.
Yes.
So it's like caught between a rock and a hard place right now for Sam.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Yeah, this is since you're playing Mage, I would give him back the Cabal Crystal Runner because Lotheb just does an insane amount of work.
You just can't be certain what kind of secret he had there. I mean, you could argue that killing Lotheb would be a priority, but judging that your opponent plays a secret Maids, he can have all sorts of secrets on in play. So I guess I will have to agree with you. It's just that Lotheb was also a valid target. I mean, he just took a risk here and decided to go for the Cabal Crystal Run. So now Crouton can trade with Maids Valet, his Batcry effect for his opponents, or he can actually ping and play the Valet.
Excuse me, you are on.
And he still gets the board. He can also play a second one Crystal Runner and get the board back again. Now this Flame Strike is going to be really nice.
Oh yeah, it's going to be doing a lot of damage here, and he does know that, well, the secret's been played for a while now, so although it is narrowed down between Ice Block and Spellbender, they do know the deck list, so Ice Block is going to be the pick. So he can Flame Strike here, ping down the Cabal Crystal Runner, or he can double Medivh's Valet.
Excuse me, you are on fire. Excuse me, you are on fire.
Honestly, I'd probably go for the Flame Strike. Because you know your opponent's two cards, one of them is a Crystal Runner, so you can easily use those two Valets to actually trade the bad guy effects in the Crystal Runner. And you're going to get the board back. So he spent like 1, 2, 3 cards and the ping for just removing 2 minions. Whereas with one Flame Strike and one ping, he could have removed everything his opponent played and just pass. So now not only he actually put himself at a disadvantage, he's now down 2 extra cards. Because those 2 Valets could actually kill the Crystal Runner right now.
Yes, and he can also do that. Trade. He can trade and do Frostbolt, get rid of the Crystal Runner, and then Looks like we're coming down to the wire here. There's 10 cards left in each of their decks. And both are just trading back and forth.
Yeah, in my opinion, a couple of misplays there actually devolved the game into who gets to top deck first right now.
Yes.
So I think the Flame Tank is going to come down this turn with the Mana Worm and the pink. And that Cat Press can actually generate a couple of minions, a couple of coins for to feed the Mana Worm with. Which is not that bad actually. I mean, it's an extra mana and an extra attack. It's better than nothing.
Nice. You can coin into 11 mana.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to pick up that requires 11 mana?
Nothing at
Almost
this point, but it's more to just like, oh, I have extra mana now. Ooh, that's a nice top deck. That is a very
first top
nice.
deck. Let's go. Clock is ticking now. So Ragnaros does what he knows best, going face.
Smork.
Yeah, Smork Ragnaros. Ragna Smork.
Oh, that's a very good top deck on the other end too. Dr. Boom is always power on board.
Yeah, considering he cannot die even if Ragnaros goes face, that means he can actually turn the boards on Sam. Canonology is not that great, but
we have
yeah.
a river crossalisk now, which it will eat up a Boombot.
Oh my!
Blast.
That one damage, even though it's a low roll.
Oh, and it pops the ice block.
Yeah, this boom is going to be traded into Ragnaros for sure.
Yes, I can see that. Is there really a comeback mechanic for X-Crouton here?
I mean, there is only one. If he doesn't trade and just kill the 2/3, he can risk it and have a 33% chance of dying on the next turn. I mean, that would temporarily give him the board, but you don't know for first of all what Sam's going to pick up, and second if he has a burn spell. Okay, those 2 coins, man.
Yeah, they actually come into play here.
Yeah, actually,
enough.
I take it back. He needed that 12 mana after all.
Wow. Yeah, and there it is.
Yeah, that's game. That's game.
Yep.
Too much damage. So first game goes to Sam, which is actually really good cut burst there from the Shredder. And while we're waiting for the next mods, I really enjoyed both decks. I mean, they're secret mages with a variation. I mean, I know that who was it? Sam says it's a tempo mage, but in reality, he also runs a lot of secrets for tempo mages. So they're more like variations of the same archetype.
Yes, it seems that way. The tempo mage does have a lot of secrets to it. Mostly, I would imagine, because I can see them playing other mages or, say, Paladin playing. There's going to be a lot of spells played, so he's going to be countering that with Counterspell and some of the other secrets that he has. But it looks like we have Paladin versus Warlock.
So Crouton is running a Rhinolog, and Sam is running a mid-range Paladin. And let's see I'm actually interested to see what the Paladin is running. So it seems he's a sort of Doodadin with a lot of small minions.
This is something that you would see on like the wild ladder. It's a little bit more top heavy than something more typically found this month, but knowing that we're going to be going into a late game with this Rhinolog, it's actually something that is expected and something that you want a late game for. But it is kind of unfortunate that he does not have any small minions to play right now, and he's just going to be having to pass these first couple turns.
Yeah, he's really unlucky because he's running 2 Lost in the Jungles, which is a 1 mana cost card, 3 Master for Battles, two Master for Battles, 2 Sealed Minibots. Even Shade of Darkside would actually be decent here, and he didn't get any of these.
Yes.
He actually managed to get all of his cards, apart from the equalities, 4 mana or more. And that's not what you want to see in your starting hand as a mid-range Paladin. Because now Crouton is going to start stalling the game and turn it in his favor.
Yes, and this turn he could have played the Light Fuse Stegodon. But
For the poison?
I don't know if I would necessarily risk it, because you have a certain percentage chance of getting a poison, and if you don't, well, I mean, you can hope for the +3 attack, and if you don't get either of them, your board just disappears.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk it because you have to play it on next turn. I know it's a really bad play, but he has to play something on this turn. Something that can at least not die on the turn after.
Yes.
So it's either Light Fuse Stegodon or the 2 Silver Champion plus, I don't know, maybe Reinforce. I think I'm leaning more on the Light Fuse Stegodon. Or even the Quartermaster, but because you know your opponent is running Hellfires, so he's not going to be that great right now, since some already lost the board.
Yes, it's really hard to actually temp out like a Light Fuse Stegodon or the Quartermaster because they combo so well with having minions on board. I do agree with this, that you kind of want to get the True Silver out there, and if he's going to trade into the into your minion here, you can get rid of it with the True Silver. But you also want a minion on board because next turn you have Spike Ridge Steed.
Yeah, I think though Crouton knows that turn 6 is coming up, and he's going to trade that 1 mana cost Silverhand Recruit.
Yes, he's gonna.
It's better to let your Belcher die from one use of True Silver Champion rather than having a 3/7 minion with Death Rattle on board. Also, you could argue as well that instead of playing True Silver Champion, maybe he could play the Light Fuse Stegodon and find that poison we mentioned before. I mean, it could be a possible alternative.
Ooh, very nice. Gluttonous Ooze.
Oh boy. Sam is in trouble right now.
Yes, very much so. Okay, that's a good pickup. It's gonna prevent any kind of damage from these two minions, and trading both of these in, unless he plays the
That was a mistake.
unless he plays the Abyssal Enforcer, one of those minions will probably stick. I don't know. It's a tough decision.
I think right now Sam is in a very tough position because he didn't play anything on the early game, and thus he couldn't pressure his opponent onto playing stuff. And right now Crouton played Emperor, and Sam is forced to play the Equality combo here. Otherwise, this Emperor is going to run out of hand. I mean, he's already running out of hand.
Yes, and having the Emperor discount, ooh, that does a lot. But with one more mana, he can stand against Darkness and Quartermaster, but Twisting Nether was just picked up, so it can get rid of that. Hellfire.
He has Twisting Nether, Abyssal Enforcer, also
Yes.
clears the board.
Very much can get rid of it.
Yeah, pretty much he has every single answer in his hand right now.
Yes. Double Dirty Rat. Nice.
Okay, that's fine.
Ooh, that's actually...
Oh, my.
Those are the two best... He could have hit Ragnaros Lightlord so quickly there.
I'd argue that pulling Ragnaros would be better because the other two rely on you having a board, and Sam doesn't have anything. Even if he managed to play, say, the Quartermaster with Stand Against Darkness, you know your opponent has one Corrupting Mist and Twisting Nether. So, I mean, it would just, wasting his time just playing stuff. Whereas the Ragnar's Lightlord does not require any sort of setup. You just play him and he does his own thing.
Yes, and he picks up 110 for deals 6 damage to all minions, summon 3 friendly minions that died this game, and the 5 mana Kazakus potion is polymorph random enemy minion, gain 7 armor.
I think that's game for Sam. He cannot do a lot of stuff here, and that early game really destroyed him. And there's no way he can come back right now, because Cruton's brand is giving him huge amounts of value. I mean,
Yes.
his hand is almost full. He could even milk himself right now. Yeah, he's milking himself. He has so much value that losing one power overwhelming isn't a big deal for him.
I'm actually not able to see his entire deck. Is he, Armath, do you know, is he running a Leroy combo? I do see the Power Overwhelming and the, well, now we had the Emperor Thorson come down. So my suspicion would be for the Leroy combo.
Yeah, Leroy, he runs the Leroy combo. He has a Leroy, the Faceless, and the Power Overwhelming. He just tossed off the window.
Oh, okay, so this can be particularly dangerous for Sam.
I mean, yeah, I mean, from this perspective, he has 12 damage to deal on you, but damage is not really what Cruton is looking for now. He just he looks for the value right now, so he tries to play stuff and things on board that will make Sam deplete his resources faster. I mean, he can play the Steward of Darkside plus Stand Against Darkness, but Cruton has answer to that. He has a Twisting Nether. And even if he doesn't play that, he has a Demon Wrath with the Kazakus potion.
This is a nice play from Sam's perspective, but as we all saw, the 5 mana Kazakus potion, polymorph.
Yeah, that's really bad. Feels bad.
Yes, and it could come down on this, but the polymorph also seeks a lot of value in a Tyrion, because Tyrion, as we all know, has the weapon attached to it, and that could be something very, very dangerous.
But it's either this. I mean, you have 3 possible solutions now. You either play it right now, and you either wait for the Spike Rid Steed, or the Tyrion. So there are only 3 big threats right now in Sam's deck.
Yes.
Because since deck lists are public, people know what your opponent is running. So he knows right now that there is only one Ragnaros, one Tyrion, one Spike Rid Steed. So he has to take a pick. I'm not minding playing Jaraxxus here, because you can also activate a second Infernal. Even though this sounds risky, it's actually a really good play, because that gets him the tempo back to his favor. And plus, he just picked up an Arctic Bot on the last turn.
Yes, and looking at the Paladin deck list, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of burst coming from the deck. I mean, he does have Vine Cleaver, which can do 4 damage, but that's 4 damage and it's not 7. So he knows he's pretty safe at 7, and with the Kazakus potion, he's going to be gaining 7 armor.
I think this is a legitimate Twisting Nether here. I mean, going face, Twisting Nether, and
here we go.
Yep.
Easy. And then he gets another Abyssal Enforcer. What am I talking about? Infernal.
It's the same thing.
It's
They're
a
both
6/6.
Infernals.
Yes.
I mean, according to Warlock, they're all Infernals. Indeed.
Yes.
They all like to make explosive entrances.
Back to your homes.
Okay, so this is Spike Rid Steed. I'd play the Spike Rid Steed instead. Because your opponent doesn't have any... I mean, he has the the polymorph, what chances are he might not even, polymorph the thing that you want to.
Yes.
But I guess this play actually puts more pressure.
Yes, and I'm sure he's debating putting that True Silver into the face, into the Infernal, or just as he did, he kept it. Because next turn he would be able to Spike Ridge Steed one of his minions to 3, and then put that True Silver into face and ultimately win the game. This is a very difficult position.
He most certainly has to play the antique Hillbot this turn. But do you trade your life for the Steward of Darkside? Or do you just trade the Infernal in?
Yeah, I figured we'd see the Reno this turn after trading.
Yeah, he has to trade everything, because even if this one of 2 cards are, say, the Quartermaster or a Latius Tegodon with plus damage, chances are Cruton could be dead next turn.
Yes.
So that's the safest play that Cruton can make right now with Reno.
Let me think.
I think you can easily you can trade your life here. You're still at 21, so Reno is only going to deal to you 2 damage. Plus that gets your bot back in your favor, because the Sealed Minion bot plus the Spike Ridge Steed presents a challenge to Cruton. Oh, okay. I personally I'd put it on the Sealed Mini bot. I guess he decided to come up with, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So if he had a hard removal, then killing the mini bot with the Divine Cell would be really unfortunate.
Yes, especially if he had the... Well, he does have, as we know, but Sam does not know that he has the Transform Kazakus Potion. But he can only assume that one of them is going to be a Transform.
So how would you go about playing this turn? I mean, you have to play something here. So Darkbone into what? Into
Mortal Coil.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, that works. Headfire is not that a great pick, but he still has 9 cards left, so there's bound to be more stuff in this deck. Namely the Leroy, and I mean, he could use Leroy to clear something here, because Sam is going to play his next turn the Leon Hands to refill his hand, and that's it. So Cruton has one more turn after this one to capitalize on Sam being really slow. So do you hero power or use a Sealed Minibot here? Personally, I just hero power and keep the Sealed Minibot, because I saw on the last couple of turns that I cannot kill Cruton outright. But on the other hand, if you don't play the Sealed Minibot, Cruton is going to start generating a lot of Infernals.
Yes, I think hero powering there is a better idea, because as we see in hand, he's got Quartermaster and Lightfuse Stegodon, which can produce him a lot of value in the next couple of turns. So if that if the Silverhand Recruit actually sticks on board here, it's going to be getting a lot of value.
So, hero power play Light Fuse Tegodon and pray for poisonous. I mean, even if he picks poisonous, okay, that's even better. So that's 3, 5, 9 mana. He can play everything with. He can also hero power and play the Light Fuse Tegodon. But this is really bad because Kurudon already has a Hellfire and a 10 mana Kazakus potion. So if needed, he can trade everything in.
Yes. Let's see.
Personally, I'd rather go.
Ooh, he
what
snapped
he
that
actually
one.
picked. Okay, that Divine Shield is fine. Divine Shield is fine. Yeah, and just go face right now. Face is the place.
He can clear one of them, but yeah, I think face is definitely the option here.
Chances are Sam can actually win this game because if Kurudon does not have a way to remove all those Divine Shield recruits, Quartermaster is going to come down the next turn. Because he has 7 spots as you can see, but that Light Fuse Tegodon holds the key to victory. He can trade that Light Fuse Tegodon somewhere, suicide it, and just play the Quartermaster in his place, and then just go face for the lethal.
Yes, and he produces, let's see here, he's got 15 damage with just the Silverhand recruits, assuming they all stick. Plus
Yeah,
2
that's
damage.
more than enough.
Yes, but if he plays the 5 mana Kazakus potion, he doesn't actually heal up, so he's gonna be at 16 here. So
The only way Cruton can survive this turn is if he plays the Antique Healbot plus the Kazakus potion. This is the only way
Yes.
he can survive this.
yes, that does prevent him from dying next turn.
And that gets him up to what, 22 life? So he heals up to 15 plus 7 armor from Kazakus, that's 22. Yeah, and he realizes that
Yeah,
there's
he's
a small
playing around
problem.
it. Ooh, that actually hit a very good target.
Oh,
Because
what? Base race? Oh, so
base
so
race.
yeah, base race. Okay.
Now, on the flip side, this puts Sam in a very difficult decision.
Yeah, the best defense is a good offense, as people have said. So he sacrificed his life to Secodon, removed something, but now he has to play the Quartermaster and the Stormkill Defender and trade something. Let's see, Tyrion would be nice. Oh
Ooh,
wow, actually
Wicker
Wicker
Flame.
Flame is actually even better. Yeah, Wicker Flame in this situation is even better because he can give you some hit points back.
Unfortunately, he does have to trade here. But this does mean that he does not die this turn. So,
Yeah, so
actually,
now Crudon is back on the same spot like he was in the previous turn. He has to find a
Exactly.
way to remove those.
I was just about to say if he found Leroy here, I think he would have won. Yeah, actually, he would have Leroy, so he would have hit his weapon, Hellfired, and then Leroyed for the win.
Do you use equality here? I wonder.
Yes, equality
Okay.
consecrate.
So equality concept goes down. Wicker Flame, he has to play Wicker Flame, otherwise he can die. Actually, he's dead. No. He has to play Wicker Flame because if your opponent has a Hellfire, he can go face it win the game.
Yes. Oh man, these are just back and forth.
Never mind.
But
Even
he's
with
got-
Wicker
yeah,
Flame, he has a
he
spell
still has to
breaker.
go
I
straight
didn't
through
pay
it.
attention. Yeah.
Good game.
That was a nice game. That was a nice game. I actually like. I want to give props to Sam for sticking out that late into the game, even though his early and mid game were really terrible. He didn't have anything to play on the first 3 rounds and on the first 3 turns because all of his hand, besides apart from an equality, were 4 mana cost minions and up. So that's not something you want to see when you play a mid-range paladin.
Yes. You want the early, well, I mean, it's mid-range for a reason. You want to have that on-curve stuff all the way throughout and build that early game. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to get that. But it seems we are going into the next game now, which is going to be a Paladin mirror match. From Crouton, we have the more Murloc build, as we see Hydrologist in his hand right there. And obviously we just saw Sam's deck, where it was the more wild, typical mid-range Paladin.
So we see now who gets to be holier than thou, right?
As I said, Murloc Paladin, it actually only runs the Hydrologist. So it does have a little bit of different tech choices to it, but it's generally the same deck. So it has Hydrologist, it has the Curator, it has Primordial Drake, Justicar Trueheart, and Lotheb.
That Lotheb is kind of unfortunate because the only thing that you can really delay here is either the combo, the quality combo, or the Spike with Steed. Anything else, just, for funsies. Because both Paladin decks do not run a lot of really meaningful spells, apart from those 3 cards.
Yes, and it seems like both of them are actually running Lotheb. I don't think we saw Lotheb last game from Sam, but he does run it somewhere in his deck.
Yeah, he actually does run it, and it was just on the bottom of his deck. Like typical RNG, when you want something, it always chances are it's on the bottom of your deck, and
Yeah.
you're never going to get it. Okay, Noble Sack coming in. That's actually decent because Sam is going to attack something this turn, so he's losing his shielded minibot. But on the other hand, maybe that could be, say, a Repentance. And that could get Sword of Darkside's hit points down to 1, provided he played it, of course, which he didn't. So he likes to take it slow here, and I guess I agree with him. There aren't many options for you to play on the first rounds, because a lot of people say that playing an aggro deck requires decisions, but no, it just comes down to what do you have available to play. If you can play, say, I don't know, a pirate, you just play him. You don't think. Thinking only comes in when you're starting to lose the game.
Yes, who needs thinking when you have face?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, face is the place. Everyone knows that. Even people who do not play Hearthstone know that face is the place.
Back to your homes.
That meme is becoming bigger than life.
Reporting for duty.
So Crouton is getting the board. I personally had played the Lotheb on. It's either Lotheb or Spike with Steed right now. I personally I'd play the Lotheb and keep the coin for something else. For Tyrion, for example.
Yes. Coining out Spikered Steed because you have a board right now and you want to kind of keep it that way. Lotheb doesn't have, as we talked earlier, a whole lot of targets. But, I mean, it
consider this, though. You just played the Spikered Steed, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, your opponent is running a Sunkeeper Tari. So, the 3/7 essentially becomes a 3/3.
Yes.
So, he could probably, have an extra minion that... I mean, it's better if your Lotheb dies rather than your 3/7. But, I don't know, I kind of understand what you're trying to say. I mean, they were both valid plays.
Yes, both of them very much are. And as we were talking about that, he top-decked a Spikered Steed, which Lotheb obviously would have prevented, and he would have gotten rid of the opposing board. So, both plays were very valid.
So, do you get to play Lothar plus Lost in the Jungle this turn?
I think I would almost save the Lost in the Jungle for when I have a Quartermaster or when I have a something that combos with it.
Oh boy, nice Lost in the Jungle there, 6 mana cost. Totally worth it.
Reporting for duty.
So the board is in a kind of ambivalent place right now. Both players are vying to get the control, the upper hand, and Cruton will have to trade in his Lothar. And right now, that consecration on Sam's hand might prove really useful, depending on what Cruton gets out of this Latius Tegodon. Personally, I'd go for the plus 3 health. Because you know that way he can remove your recruits, and they're going to stick at least for one more turn. I mean, considering you just played them and they have summoning sickness, plus 3 attack doesn't make anything.
Yes,
Okay,
but
fair enough. I mean,
you are the aggressor in this sense. I would almost throw out the top deck consecration here, just
well,
to
time to
tilt
get
him a little
punished.
bit more.
Time to get punished.
That's something that I personally like to do myself. Is whenever I
Punching yourself.
no, when I have a card in hand, say consecration in this sense, and I just top deck the consecration, I'll throw out the top deck because it's that little bit of an incentive, like, oh, by the way, this is the card I just picked off, and it deals with your entire board.
So I think that's a double concert right now. He has to play it.
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, Sunskeeper time would be a good game next turn.
Oh yeah, Sunkeeper would have seen a lot of value, but he still gets value here.
Reporting for duty.
True that. I mean, would you go for the Sunkeeper or for Tyrion? I mean, they're both valid. I guess if you want
This is
to
gonna be a
finish the
lot.
game as soon as possible, you just probably go for Sunkeeper.
Snaps out the Tyrion though, coming right out. That's gonna deal with Sunkeeper's gonna lose. Ooh.
Oh boy,
Oh boy.
here we go.
Let's
Plus 1.
see. Plus 3 health
Plus
doesn't
1 might
do
actually
anything.
be. Yeah, plus 1 might actually be decent. Might be better because you can use your Conce and trade 2 of those guys, or even Sunkeeper plus 1 of those recruits, and everything else goes face.
Yes. Consecrate 1 minion. Everything else goes
Concentrate
face.
trade,
Because
go
he's
face,
gonna
okay,
be
yeah.
he's gonna be putting 16 damage into his face.
I don't think Cruton can come back from this. I judging by his deck list, okay, he's running 1 Drake. He's running 1 Primordial Drake. So is this top deck Fiesta mode now?
No, it doesn't seem he gets it. And he knows
Never
it.
likely. Great performance overall. That top deck didn't come in at the end, where he needed it the most. But I think we're about to go to game 5, right? I mean, we're going the whole whole length here.
The current series is 2-1, Sam. So
Oh, okay, right.
he could win before we go to the 5th game, but I mean, this series is very, very much back and forth. So we could very well see a 5th game.
Fingers crossed.
So I do have a little bit of an update for the tournament for everyone. It looks like Chai has won her first round against Epic Pants, and Get Meowth won his first match against RoboLeg. The other match that we are not currently spectating is going to be, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Sarai's Tears and Mr. Dalsteak. So they are currently playing right now, and they will be moving in against Get Meowth, and the winner of this series will be going against Chai. That's it. I always pronounce her name wrong. I want to put that CH together, but it isn't correct.
Don't worry, people. We gave him a small private lesson before the stream starts, so
Yes.
he gets to pronounce it correctly.
Yes, I am trying my best, but I do apologize if I pronounce it incorrectly. We are going into the Priest versus Paladin matchup. The ex-Crouton Paladin that we just saw in the last matchup versus Sam's Priest.
So this is an inner fire priest, if I'm not mistaken.
This is a miracle, if you will.
Yeah,
Priest.
I mean, he says that as an inner fire. I mean, his winning condition is inner firing and just
Yes.
blowing your face up.
Yeah, blowing the face up. I'm trying to be a little bit more aggressive on things. But the Lyra Sun Shard is going to be getting a lot of value with some of these smaller spells, as we all know from Priest.
Crouton is going to have a problem here because Sam is actually managing to get the board, and oh boy,
Yes.
killing that what is it now, a 3/7 without
it's
the
gonna be very
spike
difficult.
retreat steed. Yeah, it's going to be really difficult winning this right now. And next turn he can actually play everything. He can play Radiant Elemental plus a Powered Seal.
I think he
can
just...
even play
Ooh,
Talon Priest.
Valen's
Oh, boy.
chosen. He can... I would tempo out Cabal Talon Priest. That's going to be easy.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to put both Valen's chosen in one basket here, because they are one of your winning conditions for that early and mid game.
Yes, but it does
Man.
trade a little bit better if you put both Valen's chosen.
Yeah, but now he gets to play the Stubborn Gastropod, and he's going to lose 5-8. Wow, that's a really big loss there for Sam.
Yes, it is very unfortunate. I don't know if...
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't know if I would...
Talon Priest would be better.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have... Getting a Stubborn Gastropod off of the Stonehill Defender is very difficult to predict. So it's just unfortunate in that sense, but it looks like he does lose it.
I mean, it's difficult to predict, but why can't you just play a bit safe? You know, you have the board already, so playing a Talon Priest, it's only going to make you wait one more turn. I mean, you've already played against Crouton's mid-range Paladin, and you know what kind of endgame cards he's running. So just wait a bit. You will always have the board. There's no way he can trade the 5/12 to your, Ethereum to your 5/12 or whatever. Just chill out, play it, and wait for your combo to come in your hand. Now he was forced to trade the 5/10 into a Gastropod. That was insane value. So he traded 3 cards for 1.
I think Stubborn Gastropod is a great card that they introduced to the set. It's something very difficult to play around, and it also gets a lot of value if you play it correctly. But I do have to... it seems as though I forgot to change the stream over to the game. So we were casting it a little bit without actually showing the game. But we are in-game now, so... We are looking at the Priest versus Paladin, of course.
And Gastropods are actually really nice, because right now, a lot of Priest decks do not run the Shadow Worlds, the Shadow World Pains. So this Priest deck here, the Inner Fire Priest, for example, does not run any Shadow World Pains. So if you don't have the board, in order for you to trade something into the Gastropod, there's no way for you to remove it. And he was forced to do just that. Trade his 5/10 double buffed Northside Cleric into a Gastropod. That was insane value. So now Sam might actually lose the game because he's behind on board. I mean, there's one way he can actually clear everything, and this is Wild Pyromancer with Divine Spirit and Inner Fire somewhere, and trade with his Cabal Talon Priest. Even though it requires a lot of stuff, that's the only way he can make sure he trades everything into. And I guess
it-
that's
yeah.
what he's going for.
It does look like he's going for that line of play.
Yeah, it's now or never. The question is he going to trade it or going face?
Yes, I believe so. Because you don't want your opponent to have like a Spike Ridge Steed or anything else that comes out of this.
Reporting for duty.
So Sam gets to play both of his Acolyte of Pains and hopes to actually pick up something here. But I think this Sunkeeper time is going to come down, and Cruton is going to get the ball from this turn and onwards. I wouldn't even wait. I would just play Hero Power and Sunkeeper Tarim, trade both of those recruits into the Acolyte of Pain. Sure, he's going to draw 2 cards, but that's just 2 cards. I guess this is also valid. Can give you an extra 3 damage, but why risk it? I mean, so far you've already seen 1 Inner Fire and 1 Divine Spirit, 2 Valiance Chosen, so Sam does not have a lot of ways out to actually win this. Oh, he actually runs Shadowwood Pain? Wait, was I reading a different deck list?
He runs
Oh yeah, he's
one.
running 1 Shadowwood Pain, I just didn't pay attention. Yeah, he has 1 Shadowwood Pain. So that was unfortunate because he didn't pick it up earlier when he needed to kill that Gastropod. Okay, my mistake. Sorry, guys.
No. We don't make mistakes, right? There wasn't a production value mistake earlier in this matchup.
Yeah, and NA production. I have to blame the NA production.
Yes. Lol.
I wonder.
Yeah, it looks like Sam's running out a lot of options here. I'm sure he's hoping to pick up something like Lyra soon so he can just go on an infinite value.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Why would you play that? He doesn't have any single targeted removals, does he? I mean, Inner Fire Priest does not normally.
Well, I mean, he can
Run.
pick up something off of the Lyra. I didn't get to see what the choices were.
True that. Oh, I know why he played that. Because if he plays that and then plays the Sunkeeper Tarim over 2 turns, that means you're going
Well-
to have 3/3 minions which cannot be touched.
Yes, and he also, I mean, he does have Potion of Madness, which can target one of these minions. But he still gets the Hydrologist off of it.
Wow, I think he should play the combo with the Sunkeeper like 3 turns ago when he had the chance. Now, those 2 Acolyte of Pains actually managed to pick up more than 2 cards. And that can actually keep Sam going without him staying behind, because he can heal them back and keep drawing cards all over again until he picks up his Lyra. And that's when things get really risky.
Ooh, he gets a lot of nice value off of this one. Draws 2 cards. Let's see what they are. Still no Lyra.
Kind of a doozy there. He really needs Lyra now. He's the only his only winning condition right now.
Death does not scare me.
This is going to be one big Death Lord. 16 health is very hard to deal with.
Yeah, but
But Sunkeeper
one keeper of
Tarim.
Uldaman.
Yeah, he does have the answers for it.
Yeah, exactly. And he's also plus going to bring something in. Might be Ethereum. If it's Ethereum, it's
Here we
game.
go. Ooh.
Okay.
That's good for Sam. I mean, the Quartermaster does get a lot of value.
duty. Well played.
Do you like to play with fire?
Okay, he gets to trade the Primordial Drake. He doesn't know that it's an eye for an eye. But to be fair, at this point, picking up eye for an eye is kind of redundant because your opponent does not have a way out. I think that's a game for Crouton. In my opinion, Sam did a couple of misplays there. The biggest one being the gastropod, which I agree with you that he should play one of his Talon Priests instead of the second Valence, and that actually lost him the early game.
Mm-hmm.
So
He can
what's there
power
for
word
him to
shield?
find here?
Power word shield,
Yeah.
draw into something? I don't know.
Yeah, but where? I mean, are you going to play it on your opponent's minions? You have no way of killing them, so by buffing them even more,
Yeah.
you're limiting the chances of you
I
actually
mean,
winning.
if he draws into Lyra here, he can start hopefully getting something. I mean, it's called
Okay.
Miracle for a reason.
Okay, let's ponder for a minute. Supposedly he gets Lyra here, okay? He picks it up. He plays, say, Cycle of Healing. With 5 mana, what can he actually pick up that helps him win the game? Yes,
Ooh,
nothing. We will
that's-
never
yeah.
find out.
We'll never find out. Circle of Feeling.
You have best.
There we go. So it's now
Yeah,
going to
that's
be
game.
2-2 going into the final match of the series.
Yeah, 5th game, hype.
Here we go. It's going to be down to the wire. Do we know what this final matchup is going to be? I wasn't aware of some of the
Well, it's the
match bans.
priest. Hold on, let me get the list again. It's all over the place.
I guess we'll be finding
So
out right
they-
now.
Anduin versus Gul'dan.
So it looks like we have a
Yeah, it's a Warlock priest.
The light shall
yeah,
bring
Warlock versus Priest here.
Yeah, I didn't have the last ban for some reason. I didn't see it or have it, so that was actually kind of going in the dark. But I mean, would it really make any difference? I think that this priest here, would not get a lot of bans. I mean, he got banned once on the Mage versus Priest because the secret Mage versus the Miracle Priest is a really tough matchup. So pretty much everything else, it's fair game.
Ooh, this is wow. Okay, Deathlord's gonna get a lot of value.
Oh, but actually that's what 10-3 Deathlord. 10-4 you can coin out the 10-2 you coin out Deathlord. 10-3 you can play Divine Spirit, and you can even play Inner Fire. I think I'd go for that.
Or what you can do is maybe coin out one of them. If they're more dealt with, you can put out the other one. Or coin out Deathlord here, Valen's chosen, and then the following turn just go insane.
I'd probably go insane now because Crouton does not have a lot of answers. Never mind. I wouldn't go insane, seeing as he just picked up Blast
Yeah.
Beast and Poison for next turn.
Oh boy.
I mean, he can risk it because he doesn't know it. But I mean, I will give it to Sam if he gives into temptation and plays a Divine Spirit here, because
I
he
think-
cannot be certain what kind of.
I think he learned from the last game.
Oh, yeah.
You Talon Priest here.
Yeah, actually you're correct here. He learned it from the 5-10, 5-12 Northside Cleric he just had. Okay. Playing in moderation sometimes helps.
Yes, a little bit. So now this card is actually going to be very hard to be dealt with until turn 6, because the Blast Crystal Potion was already played. So now we have Siphon to worry about for that single target removal.
How about if you play Dark Peddler, you can actually pick up a Corruption. That would be actually
Yes. Trading here, very, very good. Mortal Coil will come down, dealing with the minion.
good. Yeah, he has to kill it. Actually, even if he didn't kill it, he'd be dead next time.
Yes.
So it would go 8 to 16 to 32 damage, and that would be game.
I say don't play any Divine Spirit or any... Yeah, there we go. Because turn 6... Well, he's on turn 5, but turn 6 is going to be a Siphon Soul turn if he makes this minion too big.
At last, a worthy disciple.
So let's see what he picked up here. We have the 5-mana Kazakus Potion, deal 4 damage, and freeze 2 enemy minions. But that is going to be game. That's going to be 20 damage from the Tar Creeper. So it looks
Dark Reaper,
like...
Dark God, man.
Yeah,
This is a
this
Dark
ain't no
God.
Creeper anymore. So it looks like
Yeah.
Sam is actually going to be moving into the semi-finals here.
Yeah, congrats to Sam. A couple of misplays, but
Oh,
he
yeah.
managed to redeem himself and then on the rematch.
Yes, I love that that series. It was very well played on both parts, very back and forth. But it looks like Sam is going to be taking the victory from that, and he's going to be moving into the semifinals versus Chai. We are going to be throwing it to a short 5-minute break here so that we are able to set the next match up and get everything situated for you guys. So please stick around, and we will be right back.
Hello and welcome back to the Season 1 Call of the Wild Hearthstone League tournament from the r/wild Hearthstone Discord, I believe. I'm not exactly sure about this. We're going to have an excellent matchup between Get Meowth and Grizzly Bear. So I think their first matchup is going to be Shaman versus Shaman. So I'm pretty excited about this. It's a N'Zoth Shaman from Bear and Aggro Shaman from Get Meowth. Oh yeah, it's my name's David and I'm co-hosted by Dan. Say hello.
Hi, Dan here.
And we'll have this is the semifinals, so these guys have proven themselves through time, week in and week out to deliver excellent games. So both these competitors are well deserved, and they should be getting into games soon enough. I like when they say preparing to battle a friend, but yet the eye symbol never comes up.
Yeah. So
what's on some of the releases they have so far for Knights of the Frozen Throne?
Yeah, the new Shaman Legendary looks pretty amazing to me. I mean, I think just the value that's possible with that card is.
I'm kind of disappointed because they're not going to be making some big AoE frost or freeze effect for Shaman. Because that card with
no way.
Frost Nova would be insane. So a little disappointed because of that.
Yeah, but I mean, like even in Wild with like Emperor Thor's and then like Faceless Manipulator and then like doing that again, I think that would just be crazy.
Wild. I think Chai is bringing a Ancestors Call deck. So you Ancestors Call that Shaman Legendary or whatever. You freeze everything. It's a wonderful experience.
Guess they're starting.
Whew. All right, so this is going to be N'Zoth Shaman from Grizzly Bear and Aggro Shaman from Get Meowth. Two very typical decks,
yeah.
I think.
I think from my experience, N'Zoth Shaman's probably favored in this matchup.
There's so much taunt, so much AoE.
Yeah.
But Aggro Shaman can definitely get quite ahead early on. Somehow snowball this Flame Wreath Faces. 4 mana 7/7s. They're pretty good.
They usually do some damage if they can connect face.
I guess the question is always if. All right, well, getting 1 damage off is an excellent start. Patches. 4 times. It's a victory right there, right?
Yeah, and I think he's looking for like Flame Tongue or something off the top to follow this up, but even like Jade Claws should be decent to deal with Grizzly Bear's hero power and then start pushing like base damage. And
I'm seeing this Volcano from Grizzly Bear, and that's gonna do so much work.
Yeah, like it usually ends up they just end up stabilizing around that turn, like turn 5, where they can just like clear your board and then turn the Aggro Shaman has at that point.
Seems like he just drew a Tunnel Trog. Perhaps gonna play that. Perhaps Lightning Bolt, perhaps Jade Claws. No, so Get Meowth is planning on a turn 3 7/7. Pretty spectacular. Oh, he's thinking about the Lightning Storm. Gonna clear off the entire board from Get Meowth. And does not connect with Tunnel Trog.
Yeah, that's really huge. One way or the other. I mean, for 3 damage, and that tribe still has to be dealt with. So
All right. So in this situation, do you push the devolve?
I mean, 7. I think you want to devolve that. It's like,
Yeah. Looking at
does
the
it really
hand
get
from
better?
yeah, looking at the hand from Grizzly Bear, I don't see a way this this aggro shaman can really get through. Too many
Yeah.
taunts, too much AoE.
Getting me out there. You somehow find a way to push damage as he gets 2 0 attack minions. It's just
It's just the luck of the draw. But this aggro shaman never really had a chance.
no. Sometimes you can like build up your jades really fast as aggro shaman, and then
Yeah. Speaking of which,
but you almost really need to have it up to like a respectable level before Aya, and then have that be like the big tempo swing. I think in this case it's kind of just like too late for him, even though he does have some value cards like the Aya and the Hammer. But it's just the Mizafshan was just gonna have way too much time to like keep drawing cards and get up to the late mana turns where you can just do crazy things.
this Earth Elemental's gonna do some work.
Yeah.
Pretty soon. Ah, wow, another one.
Yeah, when he already decides to play that, it's pretty much GG, I guess. Unless
The rest of this is just protocol, really. Part of the course. Ooh, that's pretty interesting. Yeah. I was thinking it was the 3 mana one that gives AoE +1/+1s. No. Anyway, devolve. It's gonna make quick work anyway.
yeah,
Maybe get me out this playing Bloodlust. Always a chance.
let's
We do have the deck list, so we could check, but longer.
I mean, he could be running cards like Azure Drake. He is running Aya, so maybe he does have some like mid-game value cards. But I mean, combination of Earth Elemental and Ancestral Spirit is just looks
This
like
Earth
too much for him.
Elemental is gonna train a little bit, start whacking away at target dummies. Got to get the macros going.
Yeah.
Which combinations of spells is he gonna use? Target dummy wasn't powerful enough to withstand the blow from
Yeah,
Earth Elemental.
I don't know how close he is to leveling off, but
Kind of curious that he used his minions instead of weapon to deal with the 4 health from
Yeah.
Earth Elemental, but
yeah, it's weird to see him even valuing his life over minions when the Nizal Shaman doesn't really run any burn at all. It's kind of just a bunch of minions and like revive effects.
I mean, it doesn't really matter though, because this game is essentially lost.
Yeah,
But
I
we
guess,
can believe. Getting this jade counter up to 4, pretty solid.
That's not
All right,
bad.
so now it's the Sludge Belcher's turn to start training with the target dummy. Never mind, Lightning Storm. So Thrall himself just gonna wipe all of them out. Clean. So the Sludge Belcher is not leveling up anytime soon.
he's skipping the training, going right in for it. Ooh, actually, it's interesting to see get me out with the devolve. That could have been really good against the
Earth Elemental.
Yeah, just a little bit late for him, I guess. It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's kind of an interesting tech, I guess, in aggro shaman because that deals with like maybe even like aggro druid.
Back in the
good
day,
cards.
Aggro Shaman used to run Earth Shock. I think Devolve very much outclasses that at this point. Yeah, back in the whole mech shaman days.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
So,
devolve just like
first
takes
shock.
care of taunts, buffs.
Pretty much. Ah, nice. 4 damage. Well done. Getting the
even if
shaman
you-
down to 22.
It's like possible that Grizzly Bear doesn't have like any healing. It's just it just
It's always
doesn't.
possible.
The enemy has.
There's no AoE or big guys or healing. In
Yeah,
Grizzly
yeah.
Bear's hand.
None of like the stuff that Zosh Shaman runs in its deck. That's just
That'd be silly. this totem. Let's train him up. Getting some levels. Ah, 6 more damage. Wonderful.
We really need like a target dummy counter for this game. It's just
that's 5.
yeah.
But Thrall took away 2 of them, so took away 2 levels from
Yeah, he's
creatures. Very greedy. He's already level 100. He doesn't need more levels.
didn't get the spell power roll there, but
Meowth was ahead on life for about a turn.
yeah. Healing Wave just really crushes his hopes. If there's any chance he's gonna win, it should just.
He still has a totem and a Twilight Elemental.
Yeah, that's true.
Totally possible.
You can take a value trade on the
Kind of curious about
1/1.
lava. These volcanoes do anything to wrestle away board. This volcano's just gotta destroy everything.
So he decides it's time to play that, and
All right, Barnes. What do you think it's gonna get? N'Zoth.
KT.
All right. Well then.
Wow, that was
Yeah,
a
that's game.
good result for the Barnes. Yeah. So.
That's what you always want. right,
interesting
so-
first game. I guess not what.
So Bear takes game 1.
Probably not the matchup Get Meowth wanted with his Aggro Shaman.
Well, he's banned matchups. The what is it? The strike format. So it's gonna be very interesting. I don't know exactly which matchups have been banned. I believe. Warlock versus Paladin has been banned.
Okay, so
Matchups.
Gul'dan versus Thrall.
Anywho, it's gonna be Warlock versus the N'Zoth Shaman. It's gonna be pretty interesting. This one.
Yeah, Warlock should be pretty much favored.
Yes, as long as if Grizzly Bear's running Emperor Thorson, then he can definitely get some huge tempo plays. However, that's not usually a card played.
Yeah, that is true though. You can still get like reductions with Farsight and stuff, and then maybe like we saw last game, like the Earth Elemental with the Ancestral Spirit. I guess Get Me Out doesn't have single target removal, but
But yeah, this Twisting Nether perhaps we'll deal with some Kel'Thuzad shenanigans later on in the game. But for now, Get Me Out is playing the combo variant. So
I wonder if he.
So Grizzly's gonna have to keep an eye on his health total later on in the game.
Yeah. Do you know if
Ooh,
Get Me Out's also playing Jiraxxus, or that's a really good tech card for this matchup, Spellbreaker.
Sure.
Yeah.
We can definitely check.
I mean,
but-
combo might be enough to thing like healing wave and taunts. Combo might it might be tough to end the game with combo.
All right, so I'm gonna check real quick. He is running Lord Traxxas.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's usually the norm if you're running combo to also run Lord Draxus. But
Yeah, you need some good reason to not be running Lord Traxxas.
yeah,
Although for a while, when every deck was like running some sort of combo, like Paladins were running anything can happen. Lord Draxus just was a dead card in so many matchups.
yeah, a lot of times it just doesn't make sense to run him if there's like decks that are dealing more than 15 damage in one turn, especially. That just doesn't make sense. Kind of awkward trades on the board for Get Meowth's minions, so he just chooses not to,
I have no time for games.
which could set him up for punishes with like Ancestral Spirit, but he does have the Spellbreaker in hand, so Grizzly Bear to play his cards like Reincarnate and Ancestral Spirit.
Bear's choosing to play this Sylvanas without comboing it with anything.
Yeah. I think just like putting it on the board there.
He gets power overwhelming from Dark Peddler. Pretty big.
Yeah, that's an incredible pull.
Other than Emperor Thorson.
Yeah, now he just needs Emperor, and he can when he wants it.
Yeah.
Which is something that Grizzly Bear just probably can't play around the whole game. Especially with Spellbreaker in hand for Get Meowth. I think that's going to be really an important card.
He has Blast Crystal too, so.
From the song still, it's a pretty good burn, I'd say.
Hard removal here. Bran Kazak is the ultimate value play. Goes for 10. Alright, what was his first spell? Transform all minions into 1/1 sheeps and give your own minions +6 health.
Yeah, since he got such a good 10 mana potion, like he was really looking for that transform everything into a sheep. Now he can just go. I mean, he has to play a 1 mana potion or else he would overdraw. But like if he didn't get the sheep on the first 10 mana potion, he still might have considered going for it.
Yeah.
Just because that sheep's so important. Even though you have Twisting Nether,
It's
I don't know what's else.
Yeah, it's another Twisting Nether on top of it. Also, this death has so many death rattles. Sometimes Twisting Nether isn't
Enough.
most ideal.
Sometimes with Sneed's Old Shredder and the other death rattles they run.
Yeah, you need to kill the board twice. Horrible. These have some flavor text to it.
Yeah, but I mean, I was kind of looking Get Me Out just as everything you could possibly want. I mean, he has heals, he has single removal and mass removal with Nether and the potion. So kind of just waiting to draw Emperor Thors and just Leroy combo online.
And blast him away.
Yeah. I'm sorry that turn. I think
You're
you
kind
can.
of curious. I think I would have saved the Doomsayer for a Twisting Nether. So you played Twisting Nether. Doomsayer.
That's really ideal because then you get a free turn after that to do your thing. But
Yes. So it misses the.
he chose it to.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess he chose it to use it there just to get slow. Start developing back, but he doesn't really have much to develop. His hands just kind of removal.
Yeah.
I think Thorison's probably going to be his best draw here.
It's going to be the bottom two cards. It's going to be Thorsan and Lord Draxus.
That would definitely be one way Get Me Out could lose this game. Just really hoping that doesn't happen.
All right, so one piece of this hard removal should probably be dealt with, which should be used on the Earth Elemental. Blast Crystal.
Yeah.
Sludge Belcher, such a good card. Like, it does so much.
Yeah, I think a lot of like max cards have stopped being played. Like Loatheb isn't seen as much anymore, but Sludge Belcher just still seems to be in every deck just because how good it is. You know?
Well, especially with its synergy with N'Zoth. I think
Yeah.
that's one of the bigger points. Expansion comes out like this Knights of the Frozen Throne. I always think of these Death Rattle cards. I'm like, man, this works with N'Zoth, so
Yeah,
you can't really count it out.
Oh man, the new Mage legendary with Lazel,
Yes.
that is just crazy.
The Draxus to Mage, right? And that's how I thought of it.
Yeah.
All right, so this should be Twisting Nethered, unless something else is going on.
Yeah, you could also Siphon and PO.
He's gonna Spellbreaker the other one.
Shadowbolt, but go Spellbreaker instead.
Gonna be a bit more greedy with Twisting Nether. Hold on to it for a bit longer.
He played that a little fast though. I was definitely an there because
Well, now you can Twisting Nether now.
yeah, that and Siphon it. Just nice.
Questionable plays.
It was now he's kind of in a tough spot here. He almost like maybe he wants to like faceless the.
I think you have to play the Leroy combo here.
Yeah.
Well, not the full combo, but use Leroy, Powerful Whelming,
Yeah,
and Shadowbolt.
he gives up
both
that.
of them. Like I don't see a way out of this other than doing that.
I mean, he
like
could.
twisting Nether to get rid of most of it, but you're still getting hit in the face for 10.
Kill the first half of the 10-10 and then Twisting Another.
Well, that works.
Yeah, that still gives up his Leroy combo though. Or did he got that PO from Peddler, right? Yeah, so he still has the natural PO in
so.
the deck. So he still has the Leroy combo available, but I think Jiraxis is really going to be how he wins this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
B is off. Certainly seen more impressive N'Zoth than that.
Yeah, it gets dealt with really easily by the Kazakus potion, even though the second half of the Kazakus potion was essentially useless with the 6 health, and the sheep just did a lot of work here. But now he's kind of low on removal. Great way of dealing with this Earth Elemental.
I seriously think that that Spellbreaker turn they used really cost him the game here.
And easy to say from like the caster's desk that he just was premature with that Spellbreaker, but knowing like the deck and knowing that had he seen like even one Ancestral Spear at that point? I think he should just hang on to it.
Yeah.
So he saw one, but
I mean, this matchup is certainly going what he wants it to go to as long as possible. So he would eventually expect the second one.
yeah. He's kind of just looking for this. It's just like card for card out value Grizzly Bears deck, so he really has to just plan for the whole game.
Yeah, I don't think he can actually come back from this situation.
It's hard to imagine anything that could happen now that would let him win. He's used Kazakus, he's used Twisting Nether, he's used Siphon and Blast Crystal.
Ah, there's Emperor. Right on time. And by that, I mean not on time at all.
Side effects.
Sometimes that just happens. Like the
Trust me.
cards you need are just your bottom 5, I guess. I mean, he didn't even draw Jiraxis either, but
Yeah, Jiraxis, Emperor Thorsan, the other Power Overwhelming.
yeah, that's
He's definitely wanted quite a bit of.
yeah. There, if he had gotten like Jiraxis right early on in the game, man, this Missile Enforcer would have been nice. It's definitely good here. I just don't think he has enough turns with like fatigue to actually like get the value out of Jiraxis. Although depending like, I guess he could still do Leroy combo, but
I mean, yeah.
he's gotta like try not to die while this is.
Well, Drex is gonna heal him for perhaps 12.
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
Okay, so it's good it wasn't his last card, or is he not?
Last card is Power Overwhelming.
Yeah.
Oh, he chooses to go with Draxus now.
Don't know if there's any way in the Shaman deck that would kill him. Usually they don't run like, maybe they run like 1 lightning bolt or something, but and they're just see.
You're only afraid of 3 damage, and unless he's running like Leroy combo, which he doesn't seem to.
No, that would be really unexpected. Get Meowth's not out of it yet. He definitely
No,
still.
I think he's gonna win this.
Yeah.
Which is really surprising, knowing
Quite a
exactly
turnaround there.
Yeah, this card order was just terrible for him.
Yeah, but he managed to
since then-
in the last couple of turns he just like got a lot done. Like he went into Jiraxis and got them.
Things going.
Yeah. Definitely would like to see like Thor's and stuff earlier, but he worked with what he had and really
Yeah, perfect damage this turn.
yeah.
It'll be 23 damage coming out on turn, what, 18? Well done, get me off. So it's a 1-1.
Yeah, that was an insane game.
1 for... That's even Stevens, I suppose.
So Warlock takes the win there.
Going into game 3.
Yeah.
That was exceptional. I wonder how the other matchup is going between Chai and Sam. They got some cool decks going on their side as well.
Yeah, so I guess left there's
Yeah, they'll figure themselves out. So mid Shaman or mid Paladin actually
in Paladin.
being shown by 6 of the top 8 and 3 of the top 4. So a lot of people are playing this mid Paladin deck.
Like similar. What do you see on ladder? I mean, people just like realize that mid Paladin is insane in like so many matchups.
At least it goes even with a lot of these aggro decks and can really just generate too much pressure over the long term.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot going for it. I guess in other news, there's also 3 control shamans and 3 Reno priests, or 3 Reno mages. Those are the decks in the top 8. And really, so there's 2 control shamans in the top 4 as well. Take that for what it's worth, I guess. If you want to be, what are the top decks in Wild? From this, I'd say mid Paladin, Control Shaman, and Reno.
Reno Mage can also do really well against aggro and control. There's a lot of
Mid-range Paladin, though.
Yeah, they don't run as many clears as Reno Lock, so it's really just like Volcanic Potion and Flame Strike, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, they can
All on board.
run the, what, Meteor?
yeah, Meteor is something.
Not always run, but it's there
Yeah.
if they ever want it. Alright, so going into game 3. Going to be... is Control Shaman once again. Or no, Aggro Shaman. That's it.
Yeah, it could be Aggro Shaman this time for Gamiala. It's a pretty strong start here.
Yeah, they're just countering each other left and right. But this Flame Wreath Faceless is gonna... Do you waste an equality on this?
That's
Yeah, I'd have to imagine. Have to.
yeah, he doesn't want to take damage from it twice in any scenario. So
Chooses to play the Getaway Kodo. Kind of curious there.
is he?
I guess just assuming that this 1/1's gonna survive.
Yeah. It's probably-
Can I get a Sunkeeper Terran back? It seems like. All right, so do you?
He's got a lot of burn in hand. He might just want to like.
Go face from here?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
just skip out on the Terran completely.
yeah, I mean, does mid paladin really run any heal that you're afraid of? Like,
Not that it doesn't like Wicker Flame, which we can see.
yeah, but I mean that takes like. He really only needed 2 turns to throw the burn in his face. I think that was.
Yeah, it would have.
But
Yeah. I'm skeptical. I think that should have gone face.
yeah, I
There's a
really
lot
think
of
he
burn.
should like.
Gone
I'm
ham.
like, well, this is enough. Like, I can just 2 turns and
Yeah, I can count.
yeah.
Anywho, Ragnos Lightlord gonna come down this turn. Heal for 8, bring him back to 24. Put out an 8/8 threat.
This is gonna be tough for the aggro shaman to deal with. Like, you just burn into it, but he can't ignore it. So
Well, at this point, he can't anymore.
yeah,
He's gonna have to. Yeah, that was iffy. I'm not sure. I haven't counted exactly what the damage was, but I'm pretty sure it was enough damage.
he had 2 lava bursts and 1 jade lightning and 1 lightning bolt, and he had the
Yeah,
spell
so
power
that would
totem
have
on.
been 19 damage with the damage totem on 2 of them, right?
Sounds. I mean, it was definitely enough. Like, I know it was. Sounds right, but it was definitely enough. I could see that pretty easily. But
Yeah, so, well, Grizzly Bear was at 16, so 18 or 19 damage would have been enough.
now he's kind of and now he's in like a situation where he's deal with Grizzly Bear's minions and
Another Getaway Kodo.
yeah.
So is Hydrologist better in Wild or not as good in Wild? Because you're not
You
getting
can
it as
get
consistently,
Avenge
however-
and Competitive Spirit, which are really impactful secrets. The downside of that is the chance of getting one specific secret is obviously lower because
there's 7 secrets in Wild, where in Standard I think there's 5.
yeah. I think I see less people play it than you might expect. There are things like Mini Bot and Haunted Creeper in the 2 slot.
There's a lot of
So
good
it's
cards
kind
in
of
Wild,
tough.
so sometimes
Yeah,
you
it's
just
kind of
can't
tough.
fit things in. Over Secret Paladin, Hydrologist, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, did happen to run into a Secret Paladin not too long ago for the first time in a while, so I guess they're still out there.
They're fun. They're just slightly faster than mid-range Paladin. More
Yeah.
of tempo decks.
Yeah, I mean, Mysterious Challenger can still do crazy things, and like, they have like the curve, so
All right, so that's going to be of Bear. Yes, didn't quite get that. Yes, Grizzly Bear 2-1 right over
man.
Get Me Out. Gonna expect game 4 coming up. It's gonna be Mage versus Paladin. It's gonna be Freeze Mage, I believe, versus that same mid Paladin. That's a very favorable matchup for Mage. I
Yeah,
believe. At least traditionally, I remember Secret Paladin was really bad against Mage, and just most mid-range decks can't really do anything against Freeze Mage.
no, I mean they're just how they just try to get on the board, and Freeze Mage can just he does have like the Rag Light Lord, which I think will help him a lot if he draws it.
Mhm.
You can potentially play that like after Alexstrasza. So maybe he is teched a little bit against like Freeze Mage, which could help him, but even still, it's very Freeze Mage favored.
My hammer burns with holy
All right, so
I mean,
we
like,
got
cool.
Games begin.
alternate heroes. Got Medivh and Liadrin. They also got the golden hero powers, so they have ranked them up to level 500.
That's
Or no,
impressive.
500 wins for each. Yeah, level 500.
Heroes.
Reporting for duty.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Anywho, Freeze Mage has the Doomsayer in hand, has the Mad Scientist, and the Emperor
Yeah.
Thorset. So
You can go with the Mad Scientist this turn. The Doomsayer, because Big Paladin usually doesn't.
the Eye for an Eye. Yes, I was
That's
hoping that
awesome.
he would choose that. So Eye for an Eye can get through Ice Block, which is super important.
Yeah, that's like really long term. He's probably not going to play that until like after he pops Ice Block, which is like way down the road. But it still could be a very like impactful card.
In that sense.
Yeah. If he like wants to play this Doomsayer just as like sort of like a speed bump for the Paladin, or if he wants to try to hang out to get some freeze, could potentially like do it the turn before Thorzen, because it would be a pretty good Thorzen to get like Alex and these burn pieces reduced. If he does it like turn 5, potentially blocks his turn 5, that would be really good for him.
Yes. Well, if you play it on turn 5 and it goes through, your Emperor Thorsen could potentially tick twice. Pretty
On empty board is so tough for the Paladin to deal with. He has to do like just to deal with one of Camille's card, but it looks like he doesn't go for the Doomsayer here, which is I think a little surprising. Like he's I guess waiting for like Frost Nova Blizzard to combo it with, but I mean oftentimes if the Paladin doesn't have like a board of recruits, they can't really damage is really just like Consecrate, True Silver, maybe Equality. But
So what do you think of this Medivh's Valet and Freeze Mage in Wild? 'Cause know
I
it's
like it a
very
lot.
standard thing. All right, it's kind of like a Frostbolt on a body.
Like anti-aggro card. I mean, I think one of the problems Freeze Mage runs out to in WoD a lot is like Pirate Warrior, and this just deals with like ship's cannon.
Yeah,
So
and like Volcanic Potion is just not enough in most cases.
Mage is not enough. I guess it's a decent card
That
against
three
like
damage.
Paladin. Staying on volcanic potion with 2 damage AoE.
Guess they're really, really hoping for Frost Nova here.
It's just yeah.
But nope. All right.
Can
How many cards does he have in hand? He has 8, kind of drawn to 10.
Frost Nova, he
Frost
could
Nova?
still play it, but he doesn't get it.
Just gonna throw a Doomsayer. Just throw
Yeah,
down. Damage does he have?
he can't kill the Doomsayer and pop him, but
He has True Silver, which I think does the job.
oh yeah, this'll easily, but yeah, so Get Me Off was really looking to play as Alex Straza before he got popped, and now that is kind of just out the window for him.
An eye for an eye pretty much seals it from
Great pick by
my
him.
perspective.
He realized, like, if he does get in this favorable situation where he's up to the plate, he can just kind of shut out the game with eye for an eye.
It's the face. You can't ice Frostbolt.
Yeah,
Goes with it.
can't even use
Well
the
played.
Frostbolt.
Yeah.
Well played.
Well played. Well thought out. Okay, Consecration, just gonna deal with it. And that's a 3-1 for Grizzly Bear.
Yeah, I mean, the Freeze Mage lost what is thought of as a favorite matchup there. He just really didn't get the Frost Novas. Or like much early game, like early minions, besides Mad Scientist.
So we're not going to be able to see the Reno Lock versus Jade Druid matchup. I was kind of excited for that. But anyway, we're going to go to a 5-minute break, perhaps, and see the Sam versus Chai matchup coming up soon. So with us and come back soon, I guess. Oh, you've been watching
So you guys will get back.
the semifinals of the Call of the Wild Season 1 tournament on the Wild Hearthstone League hosted by r/Wild Hearthstone on Bloody Ox Esports. But long title. Okay, 5-minute break. All right, and welcome back. We're gonna be bringing you Sam versus Chai, the semifinals. They have started already, and it's 1-1, I believe. So gonna be pretty exciting to these last three. It's gonna be a best of three, essentially, is what you're gonna see.
Yeah. Just quick series, but a lot on the line here. So
mhm. The winner gets to the finals and faces Bear. I feel like it's like they call me Bond, James Bond, but Grizzly Bear.
It's definitely impressive that last series. I mean, one of few unfavorite matchups there. So
I will fight with honor for Doomhammer.
can,
Right, so Chai is bringing Ancestors Call Shaman, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Version of Control Shaman.
yeah, usually you see the Nazoth list. Ancestral's Call from technically.
Yeah, it's a Yasharaj kind of list. So you put in two ancestors. It has the core of Nazoth Shaman, like the
Is the Ancestral Spirit, one reincarnate, Barnes, like the Earth Elementals, and White Eyes,
but instead of a lot of death rattles, they'll have just more end game, I suppose.
like powerful.
So
minions. Yeah, powerful. Like Ysera. Ysera can potentially give him like a little bit of burst with Awakens and like Nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ysera is a very interesting card.
Yeah,
you can like play around things because like you kind of know them, but I don't know if I know all of the dreams at this point. It's a big thing.
Yeah, there's 5 of them. 2 are minions, and 1 is like a 0 mana sap, 1 is like a 0 mana 5/5 buff, and then there's Ysera Awaken, which is like the AoE. So 2 kind of.
Oh, the Ysera's Awakening. The AoE.
5 damage AoE. So 2 can like do a little like a 5 damage burst, which is Shaman usually don't have.
I don't know. Whenever I play it, I always get Laughing Sister.
Yeah, it's not the best one, I guess.
Sister. I mean, you can't use spells on it, so pretty solid.
Yeah, that's one thing it's got going for it. Yeah. Mage can't like.
All right, so we're gonna get into game here. It's Mid Paladin versus this Ancestors Call Shaman.
Nice.
Reporting for duty.
So,
Sogoth in hand. I am ecstatic. Just love seeing these. Oh man, drew the Ancestors Call.
wow.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
This is great.
I mean, to use Ancestors Call against because you're getting like a big minion out, but you're potentially also pulling like a really important battle cry minion like Tareem or Quartermaster.
Themselves don't matter as much. However, the battle cries do.
Yeah, the battle cries are really way powed and like turns on the pressure. So
I mean, looking at Sam's hand, they only have. Oh, we'll see.
yeah, he only has the Tareem right now. I mean, if Chai T knew that, he would know for sure just to get that out of the way. But
Yeah.
fortunately, he doesn't have the same information we.
So do you Ancestors Call even though you do have 2 minions in hand?
Reporting for duty.
I mean, it's hard to say no, but I guess he's gonna wait a little while longer.
All right, so grabs the devolve. So whatever shenanigans happens with these recruits later on,
It's a great answer to.
quickly dealt with.
That's a great answer to the buff recruits.
Also, Spike Ridge Steed.
does it like take away the buffs, but it also makes them not recruits anymore, so they can't be buffed by like the same things like Quartermaster, which is kind of a small thing, but it does matter sometimes. Like
Duval is such a good card. Like it
it
does
is right now.
what it says, I guess. 'Cause
Yeah.
Wild is very much reliant on synergy.
Mhm.
That was a mistake.
There's so many just like buff cards and buff decks in play right now. To resurrect anything like the Zoth decks, Devolve is like a semi decent answer to pretty much any death rattle. Like
It's
Sylvanas
a
or something.
AoE hex, more or less.
Yeah.
That was a mistake.
Uh, I mean, once again,
Oh, grabs Yashra.
That's incredible.
it's gonna. It was pretty likely to get the full 14 heal, and he does just based on the minions in his deck. That's pretty big for him. But I mean, the Paladin does have a quality, which is completely got demolished by Devolve. Like, took away.
Or AoE. Oh, there's no dragon in hand. All right, my bad.
Oh, that's unfortunate for
Or Chai.
that he doesn't have the dragon to fully clear this board after equality, but the power of mid Paladin here, because like he's managing to with this really like heavy Ancestors Call Shaman, which is kind of amazing for like the curve of his deck, but the cards are just like so powerful that crazy part of the deck.
Do you have to volcano here? Like this, it's a lot of damage. It's 10 damage on board, or yeah.
I mean, he's looking at like lethal damage in just 1 or 2 more turns, so it's really gonna have to is pretty valuable whenever you can get it. Like that much health with the spell, it's still just like completely slowing the Paladin down for a turn, which is
Like much, because essentially that wasn't too much more than a Maelstrom portal.
really valuable.
Ooh, hex. That's a good one.
Yeah, this is the turn he needed to sort of like take back the tempo a little bit. The prior turn was pretty necessary to get that like
Hexing Tyrion been happening since 2014. When was our Storm released?
Reporting for
the pretty smart by SJH to put the Spike Ridge on Frog because can't devolve away now. So,
Yes.
No time for games.
but can be stolen by Sylvanas, which
That was
is
an interaction I did not know about the first time I tried it. And then it did not work out. Like, wait, it's 0 mana? Oh, Sylvanas misses.
Time for games.
yeah, huge 50-50 there. He didn't get it, but he gets the 2 Sylvanas back, so he's still got a decent board presence, even though he has only 1 card in the hand.
And we'll deal with things. Anywho, Stand Against Darkness. Could flood the board.
Yeah,
Technically, I would save Stand Against Darkness, just for whenever you do get that Spiker Steed or the other guy, Quartermaster.
or
Yeah,
I mean, if he top decks those, that could just be like game ending right there, pretty much. It's the low fib too. Drake does a lot of work there.
yeah. Drake is actually a surprising card for me. How powerful it really was. I understood it was like it's 4/8 taunt. That's pretty solid. Has that consecration effect. But how much it does for 8 mana is very, very strong.
Classes like you really see it in, I guess, mostly like Paladin and
Mm-hmm. But I mean, I'd say it's even better than even like Ancient of War.
mhm.
It costs 1 more mana, but you're getting that consecration effect.
Yeah, that's like not that's on like a decent body as opposed to like Starfall, which is kind of just like a subpar spell.
Poor
It's
Starfall. Starfall doesn't even hit face. Like that's the most disappointing part of it.
but yeah,
Or does it? No, I don't think it hits face anymore.
no.
That was the thing at some point. It's much worse than a consecration. It's not just like, oh, it's a 5 mana consecration with a choose one effect. It goes down even more.
Yeah,
My rant
like,
over.
like Drake is a card, it's really hard to imagine like a world where Starfall is played.
Yeah, there's standard. Ancient of War will always find some place at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Second consecration is really big here for him though.
Yeah, does Chai play this Ancestor's Call just to see what's in hand?
I could give him a lot of information.
I wonder.
Like I guess I would have done it before hitting with Sylvanas,
Yeah, that would have
'Cause I-
made a little more sense.
but
My life is your shield.
and perhaps Ancestor's Call next turn.
Yeah.
That's a really weird play. Grabs a spell next turn to just throw out Ancestor's Call and see what's in hand.
Kind of like a
But,
weird point in the game where neither player really has like anything to do, so kind of just waiting to draw those like big like Mazal.
Yeah. But
Not
Chai
Mazal, or Chai.
certainly has more big guys coming out.
Yeah. Should be on the way
Vine
shortly,
Cleaver.
but only a lot of board presence and damage over multiple turns.
Yeah. Flavor of Vine Cleaver, because the Lost in the Jungle card, basically there's two little guys lost in the jungle. You cleave away the vines. I found them.
Yeah.
Lost now. Now they're here.
Yeah, this is kind of not like a super common card in mid paladin, but it does like the really cool thing about it is that like it makes 2 dudes each swing, so you can build a board pretty quickly with it.
There's Quartermaster.
Yeah, this is a heck of a turn for.
So a quality hit it. Quartermaster. Huge.
And I mean,
Is that
without
game?
without like a way to
Let me
quickly clear SGH's board and develop a huge board of his own, Chai T just is going to be out of this game pretty quickly.
So Sam
much
didn't want to take that 10 damage.
Nah, that was pretty smart.
reporting for duty.
Because
To arms.
even though Control Shaman isn't known for dealing damage from hand, there still are ways he could die.
All right, so I think the only way out was Lightning Storm.
This volcano isn't.
Yeah, it's not doing much.
Well. And Tesh's Call is just
Win this.
Volcano isn't exactly that great on a board full of 3/3s. You really needed the lightning storm.
Yeah, it's better on like a board with like a couple small guys and one very large guy.
Yeah, it can also be good with like two pretty big guys. Like it's a good card in a lot of situations, but
All right, so that's going to be game 3, I believe. So, oh wait, yeah, game 3, 2-1. Sam's in the lead. So, gonna bring game 4 coming up soon. Yes, Chai just didn't get the top meanings that she needed.
No, that was a. He did have like a big minion. It was dealt with so easily with like equality and like terrain. I get one
Mhm.
point he played, and I mean, Chai T just couldn't really like
Quality is a good.
get the momentum going. Where like
Equality is a good card, as it turns out.
yeah. So, I mean, this is why like mid paladin is so good. Like it can just deal with such a wide variety of decks. Like, I mean, Ancestors Call a Yashra Shaman isn't even like a super common deck, but I mean, the way it just went like card for card with it was kind of crazy. Like,
Yeah, like
was
Ancestors
fun
Call is
to
very
get.
much a sort of greedy deck in a way, right? Because you're playing all these big guys, and yet this mid-range paladin can keep up with the aggro, can keep up with the big guys.
It's
That's a
insane.
lot.
I don't know how it does it, but like it really just is on like the back of cards like equality and terrain. I mean, they're just so good and like makes it a super powerful deck.
All right, so what if Hunter got an AoE Mark of the not Mark of the Wild, Hunter's Mark?
Yeah.
So in a similar way of equality, right? Would Hunter be playable at some point?
I mean, if that was just one-sided, that would be
It would have to be like 4 mana, right? Maybe 3.
yeah. Uh, some people have done like kind of decent with Hunter, even in like the most recent season, right? Like I think Control got like top 10 or so.
Life shall bring victory.
It's not like too far from being playable. A lot of its weaknesses.
All right, so it's going to be the big shaman versus inner fire priest, or what I assume is inner fire priest. Haven't looked at the deck list yet, but
Yeah, it's standard combo priest.
and devolve.
I guess
Hex,
that and like
they do a lot of work here.
Greetings.
One of the more famous poor matchups, I guess.
mhm.
But certainly, they could snowball. Using the devolve already. Kind of curious about that one, but do too much.
I guess, but
It's
I think
questionable
you might
for me.
like it a little more value out of devolve.
Like, yeah.
I
Like
don't know.
devolve
It's
is
really good against this deck. He at least stopped like the. I guess in his mind he stopped like some crazy plays with like power word shield and
Mhm.
crazy things, but he immediately top decked the second radiant elemental and kind of just punished the ball.
He's not even much of a punish because the Rage Elemental isn't exactly doing much.
Yeah.
Brought down a Valen's Chosen from 3 to 2. Yeah. Probably not even
Yeah.
going to use the extra mana.
I guess like trying to walk this fine line where he puts pressure on board without overcommitting into hex because
Mhm.
he doesn't have like he's got a sort of so he doesn't want to be too cautious with how he plays his cards, but he also has to be aware that the shaman does have 4 good single target.
Plays the Hex, so
It is
Two
dead.
two polymorph effects gone. More to go.
So that is definitely going to influence SGH's decisions going forward in this
I
game.
mean, I certainly feel comfortable with playing this Death Lord now.
And I mean, he's sort of setting up for a turn where he can potentially play Lyra and that.
All right, what did they get out of the Maelstrom portal?
He doesn't rip what?
Isn't quite where it used to be.
No.
A 1 mana 1/1. That card was the most obviously insane card from MSG.
Yeah, it was a hit by that every turn for 3 damage. You're trying to deal with that and like a 2 health version of that and patches. And
All right,
really
Ancestor's
toxic.
Call. Probably gonna play Ancestral Spirit on top of that. Grabs the Lyra. Sad day.
Yeah, and we'll see what Lyra generates here, I guess. I mean, he's got a lot of mana to play with, but he's gonna need. It really depends.
There is
what spells he gets.
Wild Pyro is gonna be doing some things, so
Yeah.
gotta keep an eye out on that.
1 mana spell, which is pretty crazy. That's a pretty good spell to get actually, because that can heal his Wild Pyro. It can heal the Lyra. Go for Shadow Visions next, or heal
Well, I would
Paladin.
heal the Pyro, do 1 damage, or you can just trade in now.
Yeah.
I was thinking heal the. Never mind. I was 1 mana off with my philosophy there.
Oh man, that is an insane pull from the Death Lord though. That is like a priest first nightmare.
4 attack.
Yeah. You can death this chill mob. Yeah, the Ysera is just gonna stick there. And
Still, this Lyra is gonna keep doing stuff.
yeah, he's gonna get another turn of Lyra, which can potentially answer this board, but he's gonna need some very specific cards.
Mind Vision can get some very specific cards.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is insane.
That's incredible.
That's exactly what he needed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Sam grabbed Entomb and Dream,
Oh yeah, that would be
that would have been insane.
that really would be the dream there. But, I mean,
Can't ask for everything.
I guess the Kelpie's out. Do you get value out of the Kelpie's out?
Doesn't go with Entomb quite yet.
Huh. I guess he doesn't want to spend all his mana right away. Like the Entomb's. The Ysera's probably still going to be up next turn, and
Yeah, I would have Potion of Madness first, so the ordering of things is just off. Anywho,
yeah.
this
I mean,
double
now
Mind
he does have a lot of damage. Double Mind Blast, yeah, that's.
does some things. Oh, never mind. Flash Heal.
If only he still had the Embrace the Shadow.
The Arcanine effect. Whatever that's called.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be
I don't play enough Priest to know what it is. It's a card. It's a real card. I trust me. Anywho, I mean, 2 more Mind Blast, perhaps in the deck. Probably not.
That Lyra did a lot of work though. I mean, it really gave him like a chance to win the game that was pretty much unwinnable. Which I guess is what Lyra's meant to do. Like it's kind of just to pull these crazy games out of nowhere, but and he's still gonna have to find a way to deal. Or I mean, it doesn't look like he can stabilize his board.
Your Ysera to bring her back to full health.
Yeah, so he might choose to do that, or
Totem up. Reincarnate's certainly a card that was under the radar for very long,
Oh yeah,
and then this all came around, really made the card shine.
yeah. It's great that that card is seeing some play.
Because it never saw play when it was in standard.
It's just sort of like this card that potentially could be really good. Had some like niche use with sorry, niche use with Sylvanas and
Yeah, there's always some things, because Kel'Thuzad, Sylvanas, the same things that you're doing nowadays
yeah.
you could do before, but you just never got quite the same value as you do now with N'Zoth.
He's seeing a lot more N'Zoth in the new expansion. You know, looks like so far. So
Well, in standard. That's the philosophy.
Servants, soldiers of the cold dark, obey the cold.
Alright, so Earth Elemental. Oh, Entomb. I was very confused. I was like, man, that's a pretty good card in
yeah,
Inner Fire Priest. Like I was surprised I don't play that myself.
he's just really thinking ahead with this Earth Elemental inclusion. Kind of got to give him props for it, but
Yeah, ahead of the game.
yeah,
Devolve.
that was
Is that game? Assuming it doesn't hit a taunt.
Well played.
yeah, I think that should be.
Frigid Snowbold. Just trying to get in some more XP by playing more cards. Right, that's how that works. That's 2-2, I believe.
So
Oh,
going to
bring-
game 5 of this series.
Game 5 in the second semifinals of the Call of the Wild Season 1 tournament, hosted by Bloody Ox Esports.
What
Just gonna
decks do we
name
have
drop
up to?
all the time.
So I guess okay.
All right, so we're going to see this game. I don't quite have the bands, so won't know quite yet, but we'll know soon enough. It's going to be Mid Paladin versus the same Inner Fire Priest.
Bring victory.
I will fight with honor.
So Mid Paladin doesn't really have. Oh, there's equalities, I guess.
You may run Keeper of Old Amends as well, which could deal with the
Yes.
big stuff.
Man, Mid Paladin can do so much. I never thought of Keeper of Ultimon.
It's it just has like so many tools, and it's such like a great tempo deck that ahead with almost any deck in the meta.
Problem is that it
yeah.
can't do 3 damage on turn 2. So
Yeah,
you can't kill Ship's Cannon.
that is one of its big weaknesses. With some cards like Ship's Cannon and
Ship's Cannon is a well-known good card. A circle feeling, draw 2.
he's got 2 of the circles, so
Well played.
might as well use 1.
You're supposed to heal the face.
That was a mistake.
Doesn't know how to embrace the light. What does they say? What do they say for their
Is may
the light shall burn you.
Yeah, the light shall burn you.
Shun, shame. Paladin is just going to be doing Paladin things. Make a giant board.
Paladin,
You can do Steward of Darkshire and get to
Duty.
Divine Shield giant spiders.
Yeah, that might not be too bad. Looks like he's just going with the muster here. Besides like Pyromancer deal something, but Potion of Madness is a pretty good trick.
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of stuff on Death Lord. That's the idea. The name of the game.
Quality's not there. I mean, that's pretty much how Priest has to win. It's either that or like Lyra, how this deck really wins. So pull it and say, start the removal is not there. Like hope the quality or the hex is not there. But
Pyro was a card that I was very surprised that a lot of people rated so poorly.
yeah,
Because we're playing a lot of like small spells.
yeah, I think a lot of people like looked at the spells that Lyra can generate, and it's like, well, it's a lot of like cheap spells that don't really do much. But the fact that they're like, 0 and 1 mana, it could just be like almost cycled like infinitely, makes it like insane card.
That's what makes it good to begin with, I guess, is that you're getting all these cheap spells.
So it's something that I think like people overlooked and ended up being like a really defining part of the card was the fact that pre-spells are so cheap and like playable on almost any board.
Potion of Madness.
That can,
Potionings twice. Grab Divine Spirit and Inner Fire. You win. I think. Yeah, it's 28.
yeah, I mean that's
one off. One off for the mana. Is that's the issue.
Yeah, it's got to be something that SGH is thinking about, though. You want to end this game pretty soon now that you're... But one equality could really put you back a lot, so I think you want to end this game while you're in a good spot.
Alright, so this is the turn. Hope they don't get equality.
Yeah, this is like really the important turn for him, because he can potentially Shadow Visions for an Inner Fire and just end the game next turn, so...
Lotheb will prevent that.
Yeah, Lotheb's going to put a stop to that for at least one turn, so...
Probably Talon Priest and Tar Creeper.
Yeah, really to spend his mana without playing spells, which is kind of fortunate for him. Like this priest deck is a lot of spells, so the fact that he has a good turn is a pretty fortunate pick.
Well, you can draw, I guess.
Yeah.
There's the Inner Fire.
Yeah, doesn't need the Shadow Vision for this.
So do Talon Priest say the Cleric, just in case Deathlord happens to go under?
That's interesting. That could let you trade with the Lotheb to sort of force them to have the equality. I like that a lot more than, say, putting it on the Deathlord. But
I mean, I don't think it really matters, because the only thing you're really afraid of is quality, right? I was thinking the only...
around that, but...
Yeah.
Could be a little better around, like, Keeper of Old One, I guess. Though it's really, like, really small difference. I guess he's kind of just saying, I'm just gonna not really choose to play around much. It's the second Divine Spirit, though. That, it's a lot of damage.
Is that lethal? That is lethal.
For sure. He can push through this taunt with his small minions, and that should... for 36, right?
Yeah.
Even more if he heals it first, so...
No! Do the BM.
Yeah, he...
The BM correctly.
Yeah, he definitely could have pushed a lot more damage than that. He maybe even could have Shadow Visions for like a Power Word Shield or Balance or something, but...
Like, let the light burn them, come on.
yeah.
Do the role-playing correctly. Anyway, that was game 5. Kind of didn't hype that up enough, but that was game 5. Sam takes it.
Yeah, another series that ends with lethal. Kind of
So it's
like
going to be Sam versus Grizzly Bear in the finals of the Call of the Wild, Hearthstone League, Fox Esports. Haha. Oh, 5 minute break, by the way. Just letting us prepare for everything and get you guys proper people for the finals. Hello and welcome back to the finals of the Call of the Wild Hearthstone League tournament from r/Wild Hearthstone, hosted by Bloody Ox Esports. Got that right this time.
Nice.
So this final is going to be Sam versus Grizzly Bear. Sam has brought Mid Paladin, Tempo Mage, and Inner Fire Priest, while Grizzly Bear has brought Mid Paladin, Exhaust Shaman, and Jade Druid.
Yeah, so
we'll see exactly how. They're
It's like,
currently doing their bans for the strike format, so we'll get you into game very soon.
yeah. Looks like they both had the mid paladin and then a slower control decks, while Sam opted to go for like the with like Inner
Yeah.
Fire Priest and Tempo Mage. Or
The Zosh Shaman should be good against both Tempo Mage and Inner Fire Priest.
yeah, I mean we've seen the what's called Shaman versus the Inner Fire Priest, and that turned out pretty well for the Shaman, pretty much because they have like Hex and Devolve and
And then
heals and
Jade
taunts.
Druid.
So Jade Druid is
Those, right? Maybe it's 50-50 against Tempo Mage. I think this entire matchup is going to be dependent on who wins the mirror, the Mid Paladin mirror,
yeah,
and who wins the Tempo Mage versus Jade Druid.
It's going to be huge, because then that really sets them up for like the other matchups, which are probably less than 50-50.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
They're kind of preset in how they work.
He really wants to avoid playing against the Nizal Shaman with his Inner Fire Priest if he can.
Honestly, I just like ban Nizal Shaman all three matchups.
Yeah, that could be a good strategy for him, because that probably is a tough deck for almost any of his Sam's decks to get a win with. So
I guess Mid Paladin is still like 50-50.
yeah, I mean, you can do a lot, but Portal is, a tough card for them to play around. Devolve's a tough card for them to play around. And
Yeah. There's a lot of cards in the deck.
yeah. I mean, I think we did see the Mid Paladin win against just with like Terrain and
Well, I mean,
That was-
we did just see that matchup kind of. It was Ancestors Call Shaman.
yeah. Well, that was like an Ancestors Call Shaman, which is all Shaman. I don't want to say it's better or worse, but
Yeah.
it's definitely less common to see.
I mean, Control Shaman in its many forms. There's Jade, there's Reincarnate, Thing from Below.
I guess you could kind of
There's
say
Ancestors Call. Like, you can't really go into a Shaman and know what their deck list is.
Would you say? I mean, I've seen different versions of Ancestors Call. Mostly just revolve around playing like big stuff, Ysera and Yasharaj, but they can even differ like in that
Well, some of them play Malgos.
Malagos, which is
Doomhammer.
can add some more burst to their list. Game here, so
Come along shortly. There it is. The eyeball of victory, I guess. I don't know.
so
All right, so it's gonna be Tempo Mage versus Zosh Shaman. First one.
this is the matchup we were thinking is probably like. I think it's tough to say who's favored here, because
Greetings, friend.
Well, Tempo Mage can certainly burn out the Nizal Shaman if they don't get Healing Wave.
early removal and stuff like that.
I think there's going to be enough removal, so the RNG on that part is probably pretty safe, but I think this matchup will really depend on whether or not Grizzly Bear gets that Healing Wave in the top, 10 cards?
Because Tempo Mage often just comes out to a very fast start and gets you to a point where they can just burn you out with a couple fireballs or frost bolts. So he is able to stabilize.
This is,
Having the healing to go back up will be super important.
This is certainly an excellent start. Like this mana worm. 1 mana 3/3.
Yeah, it's quickly doing a lot of damage and really cutting Grizzly Bear's clock short. He's got to find an answer to it pretty quick. Sludge Belcher's a nice.
Death Lord, or yeah, Sludge Belcher certainly
Yeah,
deals with threats. Oh,
that's a pretty nice card for him to get off the farms. I don't know what could potentially have been better there.
yeah, that seems to be the best card to me. Main cards like Kasharaj. But I don't think Grizzly's playing that. We've seen quite a bit of this deck.
Yeah, you never really know where a Yashaj is going to be, but this deck has a lot of greed in it already, so...
So it does bait out the counterspell with the Ancestor's Knowledge. Get that full clear. Oh, Unstable Portal. Grizzly Bear did get Healing Wave in the top 10 cards, so...
Yeah, that's a...
My prediction is
big
correct.
round.
Should be a winning matchup. And these lightning storms are hitting every single time.
Yeah. And
I wish Grizzly Bear should go to Vegas or what is it? Atlantic City, the East Coast.
yeah, he's definitely got some favorable rolls with the lightning storm and stuff.
Wave. I mean, this is probably more than a 50-50. Ah. Still, hitting those.
Yeah.
Sure,
Wasn't like-
Sam has. Sorry, go.
Sam's last couple of draws have really been not what he's looking for. Just like, I mean, Arcane Blast, just don't do anything here. He needs to pick up like,
Come on.
yeah. He needs to pick up like Dr. Boom or something, or like an Azure Drake.
Maybe Antonitis.
Yeah,
Cool card with the sand.
yeah, the duplicate. His window to win is pretty quickly closing because the Shaman is setting up like a huge dissolve board in the coming turn.
I'm not exactly sure you should be playing Kel'Thuzad here because you're still kind of worried about that dying before it's time.
Yeah.
All right, so Cairn and Bane are here together, father-son duo, fighting together for.
I mean, speaking of Ragnaros, though, he's didn't feel that great on this board because you've got like a totem and a death rattle. So it looks like he's gonna set up a duplicate.
You can kill one of them with blast. But I think you really want the Ragnaros. Perhaps I don't know. I think I'd want the Medivh to be duplicated, right? So you can actually like deal with things. That's my.
I play this value game, and it just doesn't really work against N'Zoth Shaman. I mean,
They're pretty well known for how much value they can generate.
yeah. Take a line that was like looked like it could potentially work out, but fortunately hexes.
I think it's one of those lines where you're just like, it's unlikely to win, but for me to win, I need to play in a greedy way.
Because he had like the time for this play to work out. Like the Shaman wasn't really putting on that much pressure. It basically just came down to does he have the hex or not? And fortunately, the answer was there.
Getting these two frogs, that's lovely.
Yeah, kind of like a mirror images, but
with beast energy.
yeah. So now Ragnaros is gone. This game.
There's no way this is coming back.
I wonder-
Grizzly had that healing wave.
That kind of just like did it for him because he could potentially think about winning like with just burn, but
Moment when I saw the frog in hand, I was thinking, how did this mage get hex? I was thinking like, man, this hex is really good in this situation.
yeah,
But
Hex is a
it's
really
just-
good card.
Yeah, it's just a frog. Sad day. And Grizzly Bear's feeling icky.
Another death rattle for his Nazar, as if he didn't already have enough. But
It can go through ice block.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
An interaction that I wish I faced more often.
if only Leopardon was a little more playable, that might be more common. But
It's not really even in its old state. I don't think Leopard Gnome would be playable in Wild with how ridiculous things are. Maybe Hunter.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's actually a good point because like the 2-1 just get demolished by like patches and Maelstrom Portal. So I mean, as good as an aggro card as it was, it just doesn't really feel it right now. So
well, the problem with Face Hunter is that like it's been demolished in every way possible.
yeah,
I don't know. Bring back Undertaker to Wild. that would make the card somewhat maybe. We can hope.
yeah, possibly.
Although I don't exactly want Undertaker back.
I don't know. I don't know. Would it really be any?
It would be a pretty good card. The Face Hunter would be as powerful as the aggro decks we have now. It wouldn't be as powerful as
Right,
aggro Shaman
because
or Pirate Warrior.
it's just not as fast as Pirate Warrior and aggro Shaman could probably just control the board better than it does.
I mean, just give Hunter a playable deck. I think that's the idea. One of these days.
Yeah. They're getting there.
We can hope and dream.
We haven't seen too many new Hunter cards, so there's still a little hope left for.
Well, I think Blizzard is worried about, or like, I think they're worried about Hunter doing things that Hunter did.
Hunter, I guess. Like,
right. So they don't want to make it as powerful in standard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A control deck, they could potentially just use their hero power as like an inevitable way of closing out games.
They just need. Right.
Mhm.
I think it's what they're missing the most. Also, AoE.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Because they're certainly quite close at the moment, right? The deck. It's
Power draw is really just what's missing for them.
Bring back, what was that owl thing? No, it wasn't an owl. It was a scavenging buzzard.
Yeah, Starving Buzzard.
Starving buzzard, that's it.
I mean, yeah, the 5-mana 3/2 is kind of just unplayable, but they do have Cult Master still, which kind of serves like a similar purpose for. You just have like a token deck and you want to get like a little card draw out of it.
So
they
make
could
Cult
potentially
Master
play
a 3-mana 1/1.
Mm.
I feel like that'd have some playability. Little does
I
Grizzly
think
Bear
the
know
problem
that.
is like there's 1 and 2 drops aren't as good as aggro decks. So
Mhm. Because they eventually just get blown out by ship's cannon
yeah.
patches. You gotta do a lot of work.
But anyway, looking at
Or just give,
this game,
give
so-
Hunter some more pirates.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
So
But yeah, this
they could
game.
make like a weapon pirate-based work, pirate-based deck work.
But yeah, this game. Inner Fire Priest. Doing Inner Fire stuff.
It's been pretty close so far. Looks like. Yeah. Paladin is really trying to just. Paladin does have a lot of good answers to big minions hand. It's really trying to get to its late game in a favorable position. While the priest, I think, still needs to draw a lot of cards.
The problem is that Grizzly Bear does have the equality in hand.
Yeah, so as soon as he puts something out, he has equality. Even has Tareem, if he needs it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Tareem's such like a good offensive card, but it can pretty much take care of almost any board, or like any big board, just by the transferring the minions.
Oh, that's how that works.
It's kind of stuck. Can't really do anything.
And the card draw, like if you just get a... Sure.
Yeah, if he had like the Northshire to go with the Pyro early, he could have made a lot happen.
Northshire Cleric?
Did he?
No.
I don't know if he ever got one of those, which is kind of unfortunate for his deck.
I think I'm thinking of a different game.
He had it on turn 1.
So Potion of Madness.
Different Air Fire Priest game. It's probably his best choice here, right? You can take the mini bot, run in the terrain.
That just feels like a losing matchup, just because there's equality in Grizzly Bear's hand.
Mm-hmm.
High level content. But yeah, it's just, I don't know.
I think SGH is looking for any way he can extend this game and ultimately win it, but he's just can't really get like the card draw going.
Divine Spirit's the elemental. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So do you equality now? Get rid of the card draw from Acolyte?
Yeah, Grizzly Bear should know the only card in his hand is Coin, so his quality is definitely enough value. So
he has a way back with Death Lord. More card draw. That's pretty good.
yeah, so he's getting a little more cycle, which is kind of what he needs. He has such like a stacked hand, he's just gonna instantly be able to put on pressure. And the one thing that like this priest deck can't really do is deal with pressure on the opponent's side. It doesn't have like death or Entune or even silence unless it gets it with Lyra, so pretty big problem for it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those high rolly decks, right? So
yeah, it feels like it feels like you need the Northshire or Radiant Elemental early games.
make the deck more consistent. But very early on, it was pretty clear what was happening here. However, Wild Pyro and Shadow Visions, come on, Holy Nova or Circle of Healing. It's not Circle.
That's a shame, but
Potion of Madness can deal with the board. I guess most things deal with the board.
He took the Velens though. I guess that's just gonna give him more card draw on the Acolyte. And it looked really bad for him, but now he's kind of making something happen. He's got this Acolyte that can't immediately be checked on the board. I'm refill with Death Lord, Divine Spirit, so
There's a chance.
there is a chance for him, I think.
Like this is turning into a match.
We definitely can't count him out with like Lyra in the deck still. Speeds are gonna make it pretty tough for him to win through like inner fire shenanigans, but Lyra is in the deck for alternative ways of to win, and that's kind of what he's going to need this game. So,
Should I?
Well, there isn't an equality in hand for Grizzly Bear, so like
could
an unchecked Death Lord could reign,
yeah.
could wreak havoc.
So, what do you think is Grizzly Bear's best option this turn? You should go with Tyrion or
Tyrion and the Norshire, I believe.
I can't kill Tyrion's shield, and so it doesn't draw anything else.
Although you can definitely Steed.
Yeah, I don't.
Whoa, that's wrong. Did he DC?
I have to imagine
unfortunate.
he did, because
I'll send a message. What's happening?
okay.
I must consider.
You wish to live forever?
Quickly.
Sorry about that. Oh wow, that ended it.
Yeah, the priest was able to find the card to end the game.
Certainly, DCing there kind of messed everything up. So, I mean, as far as normal rules, I believe it is 1-1.
Okay.
Even if it is called a DC.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, obviously the Paladin could have put up taunts to prevent that, so
Well, I think playing the Spike Ridge Steed, killing the Backside of Pain would have done some work. Anyway, what you gonna do?
It happens sometimes. It's Hearthstone.
I'm not exactly sure. So you saw the N'Zoth Shaman take.
Yeah, and then
I think we just saw Mid Paladin
versus
Inner Fire Priest.
right.
So, from what I know, that's 1-1, correct?
Yeah, I think we're at 1-1 here. So
short-term memory.
It's been a lot of games, I guess, but
well, I just recently saw Memento. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a movie all about. It's really interesting.
Oh, okay. Was it a?
Okay, so we are just being told that it is going to be a rematch. So it's not 1-1, it's a 1-0, and they're going to be playing the Mid Paladin versus Inner Fire Priest once again. We've been told that it's doing that because we're doing that because there was not lethal on board when that happened.
Right.
The game was still very much in the air when the DC occurred, so.
Could have gone either way.
I think it's fair to play the matchup again.
So I guess we're just...
So what other cards are you excited for from the new expansion? Because Defile is certainly...
Defile's super cool. Like the possibilities with that are really amazing. I think, like I said earlier, the Shaman Legendary is pretty interesting with like Faceless Manipulator Wild, I think some crazy things with that could happen. You're just like infinitely creating
Already
cards.
so good at endgame.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can stall for a while.
Like
They
it
can
already
stall
has
for
a
so
deck.
long, and just
Yeah.
giving them more value plays.
Yeah. I
Pretty
mean
insane.
that and like Dead Man's Hand Warrior seems
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So do you play
Yeah.
two of Dead Man's Hand in your deck, or do you just play one? 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
thinking you'd only play one.
I don't know. I think the idea of like playing two and like being able to shuffle one back into your deck is just kind of crazy. But I could see playing one too because like they're obviously really bad cards against aggro. So
But
running two of them might just be a mistake.
yeah, Warrior's already pretty good against aggro, so maybe
Yeah.
you just play two.
Maybe it's I don't know, like make the deck, but that's such an like an exciting card and like what it makes possible is just kind of crazy.
You're playing around with like tutor effects, so you can tutor out certain cards from your deck.
Yeah.
What? It's a 4-mana Wicker Flame essentially. That card.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Play it, we'll see. I mean, what do you think about like the 2, 3, and 4 mana cards that
Well, they're all terrible. I mean, I've played decks without any 4 drops. I don't think I'd play a 4-mana.
yeah, the 4 mana one
Divine.
is
Yeah,
probably not worth
and then
it.
2 and 3 are just too. Like I like my 2 mana cards and 3 mana cards a bit too much.
Yeah.
But the 3-mana one I think is the most playable, right? Because there's some combo in there somewhere.
It takes like the right meta for these like combo decks to shine. Like Analogous Druid was like one of the best decks in the game at one point because the meta was so slow. So well, it's just gonna be a good deck. Really. All right, just like
You just can't count out ever because
yeah.
they are interesting. Anyway, we're going to get the same matchup once again. And there's equality.
Job's done.
Yep, it's already got the equality, so that has got to be feeling good for Grizzly Bear. On the other hand,
This is a powerful hand from Sam.
yeah, this is like the start you really want to see. The Death Lord into Mind Spirit Enterprise.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking like if you play Death Lord, and then like even equality doesn't necessarily kill it.
Hmm.
I mean now it does, but I was thinking that when
Yes, I think Sam's looking for any way he could potentially clear those spiders off the board. Isn't a way for him to do it right now, so.
oh
Man.
that's
Reporting
for duty.
feels bad. Card to pull from Deathlord, as it turns out.
Definitely. I mean, that was Grizzly Bear's only equality, so, like, imagining if he didn't get such an insane mini from Tyrion, I think Sam might have had a chance at taking this because his refill is not too bad. But,
Grizzly's
I mean,
only playing one equality.
but, I mean, he just hasn't drawn the other one yet.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, like, Sam could he's doing right now, but if there wasn't a Tyrion on board, it might be a decent play, but in the way, so
Yeah, it's Spike Ridge Stegodon. Doesn't get poisonous, so that's something.
yeah.
Trying to.
Yeah, none of his options are too good.
Is there any way? Just trying to think of any way Sam can come back.
I think it. Well, I'm gonna say no.
Lyra.
But yeah,
Lyra
Lyra's
always does
Lyra's always an option. Sam was just these buffs out before Grizzly Bear potentially drew a quality because it was only a 2 in his deck. But as the mid paladin, it is of course something you would keep. Like equality is just such an important card in this matchup that
I was pulling for that target dummy. Get the training recruits.
Yeah.
We've trained like 5 different characters at this point. We can get another one leveled up.
Yeah.
We're almost halfway there to getting a level 20 character at this point. Get Liadrin, right? I think that's the only way to get her. Yeah.
I could still use that skin. But...
I must consider.
Just get your target dummies up.
So,
well, I guess you're gonna get the the new Paladin skin coming up with the Knights of the Frozen Throne.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, so do you really need another Paladin skin? Maybe not. That was my philosophy, at least.
Kind of disappointing to see 3 skins for Paladin when Warlock and Druid only have 1, but
it's like give a little love.
Yeah. It doesn't.
I'm not counting something.
Nah.
Thinking like Potion Madness, Valen's Chosen, Inner Fire. Wait, is this that game? Hold on.
Is that? I don't think that's enough.
Oh, he was so close. So
Well played.
if Talon Priest was Divine, yeah.
Yeah, and
Divine Spirit. Almost got there.
he was hanging around for that 1 out with the Potion Menacing the Stone Owl Defender.
Yes.
And he got really close, but
Close, but no cigar. So it's gonna be 1. It's gonna be 2-0.
okay, so
Grizzly Bear 2-0 over Sam, and perhaps we get to see this Jade Druid come out from Grizzly Bear. I really hope so.
Yep.
5 matches.
Yeah.
And no Jade Druid.
Just been waiting for this Jade Druid. So.
I doubt that Sam would have banned out the Jade Druid with the lineup that they're bringing. So.
Yeah, I don't see why you would. It's should be a pretty good matchup for all your decks.
Like just looking across, unless there's like double mulch. Imagine this Inner Fire through. Mulch is a cool card. Like a 3-mana sap in a way.
Yeah, it's something that Druids miss a lot in Standard, I think. Mulch, because like can't really replace it with like Naturalize or anything.
Naturalize, yeah.
Just
that card's eventually gonna be like the most overpowered thing on Earth.
one of these days. When Mill Druid's playable, I guess.
You asked for it.
When cards just like don't matter anymore. It's in a similar way. It's kind of like some of the Magic the Gathering removals, like Swords to Plowshares. I think is the card. It's a 1-mana card that destroys a minion and gives your opponent a land. I think. Anyway, we're into game 3.
Yeah. So 1 mana openers for both players here. That's
Tempo Mage is getting off with a pretty good start.
doesn't have the coin, which could do a lot of work with Flamemakers, but on the next couple of draws, it can really just like destroy the Paladin's board.
What do you think of the new Frozen Throne card that has the battle cry of give a mirror image spell?
Oh yeah, that's pretty
Like, could
cool.
that see play in Tempo Paladin and Tempo Mage? It's iffy, but
4 mana, I think a 4 mana 2/6.
4 mana
so
2/6.
it's definitely not something that's not like clearly overpowered, but
It's right in the range of.
playability.
But also, Tempo Mage is just kind of dying for anything, I guess.
Yeah,
Right. Like, it's a tier 3 deck, I'd imagine. Maybe tier 2.
yeah.
But it's definitely not top 2.
Oh, no,
top
not
tier.
at all. I think Phone Tap had a lot of success with it in April, but other than that, just haven't really heard too many people doing well with it. It seems like it'd be good against mid Paladin.
Mhm.
Might
Well, I guess
be
it's
one
in a
of the
similar
reasons
sense.
that-
I think it's in a similar sense that, like, Patron Warrior kind of fell out of favor.
Yeah,
With all those
yeah. The
Whirlwind
AoE
effects,
really killed
so.
Patron Warrior. Like the fact that so many people are running Reno and Kazakus decks just kind of make it not like the best deck to play.
Mhm. Or Patron Warrior. I'd love that deck.
Oh yeah, I mean I think it could, just takes a few people to try it out, I guess.
Well, I did get to top 10 legend with Quest with the Quest patron.
That's pretty insane.
I mean, I did it for like 5 games, and I was like, oh, cool. I went from 30 to 10. Good for me.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly.
So I guess the idea behind that deck is kind of like you have like the patron like whirlwind early game to sort of take care of these like 1 health minions, but you also have like Quest to.
The main problem with patron is that like Reno decks can just clear your patrons.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do after
And then
that?
you have like.
Well, now you can actually.
Yeah.
Now you have a hero power that does 8 damage. It does something.
Yep.
And the problem with Quest Warrior to begin with is that it has no early game. No tempo plays.
Like taunt minions that can stick around for a while but don't really buy you too much tempo.
He's gonna get 2 more Flame Wakers into Sam's hand.
It doesn't have too many cheap spells at this point, but the Flamemakers are kind of a pain for.
You can get a Azure Drake, perhaps.
Yeah, it's looking good this turn. It's choosing to pick off the Divine Shield rather than.
Excuse me.
So he's gonna go with the Valor.
I can't wait for Wicker Flame to have the text box redone. Be like Divine Shield, Taunt, Lifesteal.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Makes it cleaner. Esque. Where you just kind of put a bunch of keywords on the card. It's only missing charge.
Pretty good card for that charge.
Well, I thought that that 4 mana Frozen Throne card, it went to charge as well. Then you do like Alakir, or you have Alakir in your deck, but you have that card. You play
He's
2
got
of
like
them.
a 4 mana Alakir.
Yeah, essentially. With
yeah.
like 2 less health, but who cares?
Yeah. um,
Serve the Fire
right,
Lord.
but
Serve the Fire
Anyway,
Lord.
Arcane Blast
yeah,
gonna make
it's a pretty
everything
good
better
pick.
here.
Like he gets to clear
So
going into
there would be a weird play there where you could have played your Primal Fin champion, kill it with the Arcane Blast, and then you get the Arcane Blast back into your hand.
yeah. I wonder if like if Sam just hasn't really tested that yet and doesn't want to risk it in such a high stakes scenario.
Oh
But
yeah,
it
like,
probably would have
I
been
think
a
I'm the
good
only person who
play.
has played Quest Paladin enough to really know all the interactions with that.
Yeah, because I for sure wouldn't.
Like I thought it was a perfect play in that situation. Like
Yeah,
that's exactly what I would do.
give him 4 more missiles, right? Like that's
Well, you really get the card back into your hand while still doing all of the missile damage that you would normally do.
yeah. Oof.
But I guess you don't get a 1-2. So like that 1-2 is pretty
They
valuable.
can trade with the 1/1s pretty nicely, which is important knowing that Taroom is a card.
Reporting for duty.
So this is kind of where the Paladin struggles when it has to take like. I'm saying the Paladin struggles as it's creating this ridiculous board, but I mean that. Okay, so just take all the back. Like this is mid Paladin. It's a crazy deck. It can do crazy things.
Funkeeper Tarum is nuts. Like when I first read Tarum, I was thinking like, oh man, it's a pretty good card. And then I was told that it had taunt.
That's like just an insane part of it
Maybe it just throws it over the top.
because like you know 3/3/3s technically have to go into it to kill it, so that just makes it so awkward and like for the other player.
Because it is both an offensive card and a defensive card.
Yeah, insane card. I think it's one of the cards that maybe should be looked at, but yeah.
Well,
'Cause it
2 years in standard, it's fine. But
it deserves a place in the Hall of
Kinda
Fame in Wild, right? Like
yeah,
that's where the good cards go, I guess.
Reporting for duty.
It was sort of in a pretty good position there. Like he had Flamewakers and a little bit of gas in hand, but Tareem really just shut that down.
yeah, damn. I don't see this going in
so-
Sam's favor.
Yeah, at this point, Sam would kind of have to rely on like
Get their own
Burn or
Tarum
a
from that unstable portal.
yeah, or I mean, Yogg can always do crazy things, but I guess he probably doesn't run that.
I mean, I don't want to check just because I don't want to give my hopes up, but a Yogg top deck.
Yeah. But I mean, the range Paladin, when it's ahead on board, can easily crank the pressure up. So
Second Tarum.
yeah,
Ungoro belongs to the Titan.
Yeah, Stonehill Defender is a pretty good one. Just keeps grabbing Tarum over and over again. Yogg. Okay, so there's one more turn for Yogg. I'm gonna do a drum roll to it.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I can't imagine a reason he's staying in this game unless it's to hope for Yogg. But
Exactly. So there must be a Yogg in hand, or in the deck.
maybe he's just gonna like Mind's game it into his deck somehow. It's gonna be
All right, so
amazing.
Yogg.
Reporting for duty.
That's not Yogg. Just ping yourself in the face. Hey, well played.
Well,
It wasn't a golden mage. That was the issue.
okay.
Anyway, that's 3-0 sweep from Grizzly Bear over Sam. From what I believe. So well done, Grizzly Bear. Champion. That was the finals of the Call of the Wild Hearthstone League tournament. Congratulations. Took her down. I think it was like 50 people in this league.
Yeah. Really solid lineup. Just the sort of like this anti-control lineup almost, I would say.
We didn't get to see the Jade Druid. we saw mid Paladin and N'Zoth Shaman win like 8 matchups in a row. People are just too afraid of the Jade Druid, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
That's not top tier. So I do believe that we're just gonna end it here. Esports Wild Hearthstone League tournament. There are VODs of this coming up soon on YouTube, so you can watch that as well as the Twitch channel. The VODs are pretty much instant there, I believe. And then there's a Facebook, I believe. And then, I don't know. If you want to check up on Twitter and you get to know exactly when all of these things happen on Bloody Ox with the handle Bloody Ox Esports, something like that. If you just YouTube Bloody Ox Esports, you can find all of our stuff there. So to close it out, I guess I've been David, or I've been Poach. My bad, using my first name. And I've been co-hosting with Dan. So you want to give a shout out?
Yeah, I'm Dan. Thanks for doing Cast This Wild tournament, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. All right. And send off.